I will say this. When you left, I was skeptical because I had to
Serious, Jeff.
I had to be serious.
You had
Jeff.
to be serious, Jeff.
I had to follow the script and everything, but he made it seamless. It was very fun. Mike Lindskog, I will say this, one of the best guys, a true new friend, if that makes sense.
Yes.
You know when you meet somebody and you hit it off, I will say this, I think he's a true friend.
Pep, it was almost like that scene from Step Brothers when they started comparing each other, sizing each other up, and they found out they were best friends.
You like guacamole too?
I'm telling you, we were kindred spirits. And I'll tell you, that's pretty rare. You know, when you're older, sometimes when you find guys, you and I have a great rapport, but we've been friends now for 4 years.
Long time.
Well, at least 4 years. Holy cow, we've been friends a long time. Lindskog, though, one of those guys who could fit in with us in our group, just a good, solid guy. If you listen to the Quakes every night here on Fox Sports 1350, you hear a different side of him. He's very serious.
Just a professional.
He
3
is
balls, 2
play-by-play
strikes.
guy.
Someone threw at the plate. Gavin Lux.
Yes. But I'll say this, one of the funniest guys I've ever talked to. The stuff we were talking about during the breaks, I mean, we were crying. We were laughing so hard. We had a great time. So thank you, Mike Lindskog. You're more than welcome anytime Pep is gone to come in and sit with me.
Or when you're gone. I put the offer out there, too. I put the bat signal out in the air.
Yeah.
If you're gone, Jeff, I would love to have Lindskog in.
Dude, he is the best. I'm telling you, you'd enjoy it. He's just he's a mini version of me.
I'm scary.
Or I'm a large version of him. Either way, it's weird. But we were a great time, though. Great time.
Well, I was gone for Thursday and Friday. I was sad to be gone, but I knew, Jeff, that I was playing matchmaker a little bit. I knew you and Lindskog
It was
would
like
hit it
Christian Mingle.
Yeah,
it was Christian
farmers
Mingle.
only in
Yes.
here. You know what I mean? And you guys hit it off. I knew you would.
Funny guy.
So
funny guy.
big thanks to Mike Lindskog for hosting the Inland Sports Show on Thursday and Friday with Jeff. But Jeff, I roll back into town and it's all going down. Mike Scioscia, will he be back as the Angels manager?
Poppycock.
That's exactly what he said when he heard the reports as well. So all the reports came out that, actually it was Ken Rosenthal who was kind of leading the charge here on this, that he was going to step down at the end of the season. He was done. And then Mike Scioscia got wind of it and said, Poppycock. No, I'm not. That's booey. Where'd you get that? No, that's fake news. Basically,
Fake
right?
news.
So I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking, Jeff. I'm thinking, okay, Mike Scioscia's contract runs out at the end of the season.
Yes, it does.
So maybe we're splitting hairs on the words we're using here. Maybe at the end of the season, he's not going to step down. Maybe his contract is simply going to expire, come to an end, conclude, and they're going to do nothing about it. He's not going to sign a new one. He's not going to get fired. He's not stepping down or getting fired. It's just the contract will be over. So maybe he's kind of, that's his loophole. He doesn't want to say he's lying. He doesn't want to confirm the report either. But that's what I got the feeling, that maybe he's just going to let the contract expire and he'll just walk off into the sunset in Orange County.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a problem if he does. He's given him 19 great years. You know, a couple down years as of late with pitching issues, player issues, long, giant contracts. But he did win them a World Series back in 2002. I know it's a long time removed, but still, the Angels have been a relevant team in Southern California for his entire tenure. So my hat will go off to him. And if he decides to step down, I hope he still remains somewhat in baseball and maybe with the Angels.
Yeah, later in the show, we'll talk more about Mike Scioscia. Will he come back to the Halos? If he doesn't, who would be next in line to take the throne? Because think about this. You've got Mike Trout in his prime. You've got Shohei Ohtani, who's just entering his prime. He's 23 years old. The Angels are built to win now. Who's going to come in here and put them back on top of probably the hardest division in all of baseball, the American League West?
Yeah, and there's guys, for the first time, and we talked about this a lot on Thursday and Friday, the Angels had a rotten farm system for a long time. They're starting to turn it around. There's guys, Joe Adell, one of those guys that we've mentioned.
Griffin Canning, a starting pitcher
yes.
who's waiting in the wings.
There are guys that are going to make this ball club. It's just a matter of when and if Mike Trout is there with Joe Adell. I mean, that would be a great outfield. If you can put those two guys together, that would be an amazing team. There is a lot left on the shelf if you're an Angel fan, to say the least.
I hate to say this because I was still holding out hope there would be enough time for the Angels to bounce back. Oakland's red hot. They're not going to. In fact, Oakland already put Seattle in the rearview mirror. The A's are not looking back now. The A's have passed not only the Angels, they've passed the Mariners, and there's no end in sight. The Dodgers actually play the A's, not tonight, but beginning tomorrow night, a 2-game series there. The A's, I couldn't even hardly name their starting lineup, but they're really good. And I don't think the Angels have a realistic shot in trying to battle back these last 2 months of the season to get back in the playoff hunt. I just don't see it.
No, they're 12 out behind Oakland. They're 16 out of the West. There's no way possible that they have a shot to get that wild card either. With that subpar pitching, where you don't have Mike Trout, he's missed 4 straight games with that wrist injury. You don't know how serious it is, but I will say this: Oakland came out of nowhere. Seattle came out of nowhere. I didn't think Seattle would be above the Angels, and right now the Angels and the Rangers are kind of sitting at the bottom of that American League West.
Oh yeah, by the way, Houston's sitting on top.
Oh yes, those World Series guys.
That American League West is absolutely brutal. Again, like what you just touched on, Jeff, I don't think people predicted that Seattle and Oakland would be good this year. Like,
no.
They had good young guys, but would they be good this fast? I don't think people saw that. In fact, I thought the Angels were a lock to be at least the second place team. I didn't think they would dethrone Houston. Houston's too good. We saw that over the weekend against the Dodgers. Houston's too good. But I thought the Angels, pretty much, it was their spot to lose, second place in the AL West.
Yeah, and it looks like it's slipping away. They're below 3 games below 500. If they were in the American League Central, it'd be a different story, because Cleveland at 61 wins leads by 9 games in that Central Division. Minnesota with just 52 wins. The Angels have 55. That just tells you, like you said, how tough the American League West is.
Brutal. Tigers get the Tigers and Angels tonight. Again, we'll be keeping an eye on if Mike Trout will be in the starting lineup. 4 straight games that he has been out with the wrist injury. We still got to get to the Dodgers in NFL. And it's all brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change, a proud partner of the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. You got to get your oil change. I wish they fixed windshields, because I do it all at Spoiled. But they can certainly do your oil, wiper blades, all kinds of good stuff. They offer a lot out there. They can do a transmission fluid exchange, a radiator flush. If you even know what that is, you can do it at Spoiled. Quick quality oil change right there off of Alessandro Boulevard. Just get off on the 215 freeway. You can't miss it. Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. Speaking of the Astros, we saw them over the weekend against the Dodgers. The Dodgers did win 3-2 yesterday. They avoided the sweep. They salvaged the final game of that series. And, Jeff, here's the scary part. Houston's not even at full strength right now. 2 of their best players,
are out.
Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve, are out. And they're still loaded. They've got great pitching. They've got a pretty good offense. Houston is legit, and the Dodgers found out that there's still a gap between them and the World Series champs.
Yeah, you can't be happy if you're the Dodgers. The only thing you say is you squeaked out a win there, but they were outscored 19-3 in that series total. That means the Dodgers gave up far too many runs. That 14-0 loss really, really hurt them, and I think it can hurt you mentally as well. When you're playing in the playoffs, if they get a chance to play them again, they're going to think of that loss in that Game 7, and they're also going to think about the destruction at home, 19-3. That's going to weigh on them when they hit the postseason.
When you get to a postseason series and you're going to run out Justin Verlander, Dallas Keuchel, and Garrett Cole, 1, 2, 3, maybe mix in a McCullers, you're done. You know, if you've got to score at least 3 or 4 runs a game to give your team a chance, but those guys lock it down. Like you said, a 3-game series and you're outscored 19-3, that's unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
The Dodgers need pitching.
Yeah, and then hopefully they're going to get something, because the trade deadline has come. Now they're going to have to go through the waiver wire. We discussed how the waiver wire works, and it could be dicey for the Dodgers to get a solid arm.
2 words for that one. It was a rude awakening.
It was.
Very rude.
The good news is the Dodgers would not see Houston again until the World Series. So if the Dodgers can win the West, sneak into the playoffs, I think they've got a really good chance of reaching the World Series. But once you get there, you're going to have to play Houston or probably Boston. And that's going to be tough.
Oh, the American League is ridiculous. But you got to think of this. You just said if they make the World Series, I just hope the Dodgers can make the playoffs. How is Arizona? I thought the Dodgers were ahead of Arizona by several games, and now look at them.
You would think, right?
Now they are sitting identical records here and the Colorado Rockies are just 2 games back.
So the Dodgers have the night off. They play up in Oakland tomorrow night. The D-backs are playing the Phillies today. That could be a postseason preview. Those could be 2 playoff teams right there. But if Arizona wins tonight, mathematically they will pass the Dodgers for first place in the National League West. So it could happen tonight.
It can. And the Dodgers, we've talked about this. Everybody says, oh, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. Hey, I'm not so sure, Pep. I don't know if they need to stick with one lineup to get those guys in a groove for a playoff run, or they're going to continue to just switch this lineup every single night. I think guys need to get at-bats on a daily basis when you get down the stretch. They've got to do something to get these guys going.
It's almost like an NBA team, right? Or a basketball team.
Yeah.
Kind of tighten your rotation. The guys know who's going in, about how many minutes they're going to get per night. Maybe you used to play like 10 or 11 guys. Now you play like 7 or 8. You kind of tighten that rotation. Maybe the Dodgers do need some consistency. Like, hey, JT, you're our everyday third baseman. You're going to be hitting third in the order every day. You know what to expect when you show up to work each day. But right now, because of injuries and also because of flexibility, I mean, the versatility of all these different players, they've got guys popping up in new spots, whether it's out in the field or in the batting lineup. They're all over the place right now. And that's how it's been all season.
Yeah, and like I said, I just think it hurts the level of consistency. I think you might have to tell some of these guys, these millionaires, hey, you got to sit, buddy. You're going to have to sit because you got to go with the hot hand, and it's hard to tell who the hot hand is when you're playing every third day.
And that's going to be tough. That's going to be what's weighing on Dave Roberts here because he's got a luxury, I'd call it, of having too many good players. Can't play them all at once. Who's going to be the odd man or odd guys out because there's going to be more than one not in the lineup each and every night. Let's continue our inland sports headlines here on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM with a little trip out to San Bernardino. I'm not talking about Jeff and his family at the 66ers game on Saturday night. I was out at the Little League West Regional last night, and I had a chance to watch Idaho take on Washington. And Idaho from Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene, hey, that's a cold place in the winter. I've been there. It was 30 below once. It was
30 below?
30 below. Yeah, it was very. My snot froze. It was very cold.
That's pretty bad.
Really cold.
A lot of snot.
But they were down here playing, huh?
They were playing down here against Washington, the Seattle All-Stars. If you win here,
you go neighbors. Those guys are neighbors.
Yeah,
that's really close.
Backyard battle.
Yeah.
So Idaho won 16-6, and here's my favorite part. So the Idaho fans, they win the game, and what do they start doing? What's the most Idaho thing you can think of?
Eat potato chips.
Potatoes, right?
Potatoes. Or vodka. Were they drinking vodka at the World Series?
Vodka.
Oh, okay.
But lots of whole potatoes. They were throwing potatoes into the crowd. So Idaho wins. They're advancing to the Little League World Series here in San Bernardino. And the parents had a whole, I don't know if they were raw or boiled or whatever, but they were whole potatoes. And fans were going nuts. You ever go out to like a Sixers game and they got like the T-shirt gun and the hot dog gun?
I almost got a hot dog this weekend.
You tried really hard.
I really tried.
You would have dove for that.
Oh, yeah, but
you would have.
But I'll tell you what, potatoes, though, that seems like that would be dangerous.
The fans were jumping up and down. Everyone wanted a real, live, authentic Idaho potato.
A russet. A fine russet.
So that was my favorite moment. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if you're going to be from Idaho, might as well embrace it, man. You guys are the potato people. Just go for it, right?
Yeah, did you say, hey, throw some chives? Throw some chives up here. Hey, give me some butter, buddy. Let's cut these bad boys open. Hot potato. Hot, really hot.
Congrats to Idaho. The Little League World Series, the West Regional in San Bernardino continues all week. That championship game will be on Saturday night. And the semis and finals are on ESPN. Like, this is a big deal out there. They bring in, the whole TV crew, and they broadcast these games. So it's pretty cool for these kids to get some exposure like that. And there's been a lot of big names. In fact, I think they were telling me Cody Bellinger was on the Arizona All-Star team that won it all and went to Williamsport for the World Series. So there could be some Major League Baseball stars out there right now. They're going to, blossom into these great professional baseball players one day.
You know what you do is you get every single kid and you make them sign an autograph. Every kid there.
What a great idea.
Every kid.
One of them.
You sign a piece of paper. Every kid, and then you save it every year. And then when somebody becomes huge,
you got it.
Got a Mike Trout. Hey, I got a Pep Fernandez 7th grade autograph.
That's right.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
It's actually not a bad idea. I mean, if you just think of the odds, One of them's probably going to make it.
Yeah, you're going to get it. What if one is a super legend? It would be awesome.
Super creepy, too, though.
Yeah.
Hey, little kid, can I get a picture with you and sign it?
hey, little boy, come over here. Wait, no, that sounded wrong. Sorry.
Did you watch the NFL Hall of Fame over the weekend?
No, I'm not watching that
I mean,
stuff.
I know you had the party of the year on Saturday for Luke, and then you guys went out to the 66ers game. You were very busy.
I was super busy, and honest to goodness, I saw these guys play. I don't want to hear them talk. I don't want to hear Ray Lewis talk. I don't want to see T.O. make a mockery of this Hall of Fame. No.
You didn't watch it?
No, boo.
I saw bits and pieces. Ray Lewis was, running around. He had a little headset on. He didn't stand at the podium. He was running around. He was wiping off his brow with the towel because he was all,
Did he
hot
dance?
and bothered out there. He danced.
Oh.
Who did he danced with one of his former teammates. Who was it? Jonathan Ogden?
Yeah, it was Ogden.
Was it Ogden? Yeah. So great celebration. That was Friday night, a night after the Hall of Fame game. And then on Saturday, Terrell Owens did the most T.O. thing you can think of. He did his own little celebration at his alma mater, University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, all by himself. I think like 3,000 people showed up, which I'm kind of surprised even by that number, that large number. But he did his own thing on his own terms. And that's basically, Jeff, T.O.'s career in a nutshell. And that's the way he's going out.
Yeah, I'm not a T.O. fan. I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't get in on the first ballot. He's done so many goofy things. He blew through. I was reading up on him. He's blown through $80 million.
He did?
He went through his entire fortune and was broke. So how you and I, if we had $80 million, I couldn't spend that in
If I had
my
$80
lifetime.
million, I'd say, Greg Holland, Jeff, adios. Probably not going to see you guys ever again. I'm out.
But could you spend $80 million in a matter of 3 years?
No.
That's ridiculous. He's gone through his money. He's always been about him. In fact, I think he tried out for the CFL the very next day.
He did.
At a high school.
So he did his mock Hall of Fame ceremony at Tennessee Chattanooga on Saturday. Then on Sunday, he tried out for the Saskatchewan Roughriders
The Saskatchewan.
of the CFL. So he still wants to play. And he might actually be playing up there sometime soon.
Good. Put him in their Hall of Fame.
In the CFL Hall
Yeah,
of Fame?
get him out of
Do
here.
they have one? They
Probably.
must, right?
Doug Flutie. That's it.
That's it. Warren Moon.
Warren Moon, yeah, he'd be a
Who
good
else
one.
would be in their Hall of Fame? I'd put my boy Ricky Ray. Ricky Ray won a lot of Grey Cups for my team, the Edmonton Eskimos. That's
Whatever.
my team.
I don't know. Who else was a stud up there?
Flutie, Moon, Ricky Ray.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. That's it. That's the Hall of Fame.
That's the Hall of Fame.
And finally, one quick basketball note. So Las Vegas put out the odds for all the NBA teams for next year, including your Los Angeles Lakers.
Yes.
Las Vegas projects the Lakers at 48
Oh.
wins.
I go over.
Which would put them fourth in the Western Conference behind Golden State, Houston, and Oklahoma City.
Wow.
You're taking the over?
Yeah, and I'll
So
tell you
you're
what.
saying like 50 wins.
Oh yeah, easy. And I'll tell you what. If they were to stand pat by these odds, they would end up playing Utah in the first round and then Golden State in the second round.
Ooh.
I think they're better than Utah. I think they could get a shot at Golden State in the second round. That'd be great. Go ahead, LeBron. Get him in the second round. Kuzma and who else did they got?
Hey, LeBron got
Who are
a
those?
win last season with
But-
nobody. So.
But here's
Lance
what I think a lot of people are curious. Are the
Rajon
Lakers
Rondo.
going to go with the young lineup with LeBron? Or are they going to
don't
bring
know.
in those veterans that they just signed to
I think
play
it's
with
gonna be a
LeBron?
mixture.
We'll see.
Probably.
I would venture to say they're going to give him till end of December. See how things are working out. If things aren't working out, then they're going to change that lineup. And they're going to. I honestly think they're going to go with LeBron James at the 5. That's a weird thing. Everybody's going, what? I think he'll be a 5. I think he'll be a stretch 5. You can't guard him in the post, and he can guard anybody in the post if he needs to. He's strong enough. Why not? A little wear and tear, a little less wear and tear on his body.
So over 48 wins for the Lakers next year.
Yes,
All right.
51.
51?
51.
We write that on the board.
I am the Oracle, so
The
yes,
Oracle.
the Oracle says
Yeah, I'll
51.
put it back up there.
All right, we'll
It
put it
blew
up.
down. So you
51.
know it's hot. Like, here's how I know it's hot. I don't have to step outside and start sweating. I was pulling weeds all morning. I didn't have to go outside and do that. Because when I walked in, Greg Holla brought a fan, and he brought his own big blue goblet full of ice water. That's how hot it is out there.
Got a goblet.
He's got a goblet. Like, that's how hot it is out there.
That is a pool drink right there. That's like floating around in my pool and with the plastic glass, with the plastic cup. because you can't carry glass into a pool. But
No.
that's a fine pool cup right
Yeah.
there, Greg.
It's
warm.
hot.
It's damn hot.
It's like 106.
I
I didn't have to put my head outside or start pulling weeds. I knew it. I saw Greg holla.
Yeah, it's hot.
All right, the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the Inland Empire, providing you with all of your sporting gear needs. And, of course, they can do Letterman's jackets. You know you need one. Walk around campus when you go back to school in the fall like the big star that you are. So go to Ken Sporting Goods for your cleats, your baseball mitts, football helmets. They get uniforms for you and the entire team. They can hook it up. Large orders, it's all good. They're going to take care of you at Ken Sporting Goods. That's kensportinggoods.com. Ken Sporting Goods off the 15 freeway in Norco. When we come back on the Inland Sports Show, we've got news and notes from NFL training camps, and really it all has to do with Aaron Donald. Where is he? Big deadline coming up tomorrow, or is it? Maybe it's not such a big deal for Aaron Donald or the Rams because he is still sitting out. But, Jeff, later in the week, it could start affecting his wallet. And that's when it gets serious. When you start messing with a man's money, that's when you start talking. So we're going to talk about Aaron Donald and Rams camp when we come back on the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. Jeff Gorham, Greg Holla, I'm simply Pep Fernandez. Glad to be back. I was gone Thursday and Friday, but Jeff, you and Lindskog headed off. Sounds like you and Skog are going to do like a double date. You and your wives are all going to go out and have a good time.
Hey, we're buddies now, man. I'm telling you.
You don't even need me.
No, you won't go out drinking with us.
No.
But Skog and I, we're gonna go out. He's gonna have a Moscow Mule. You know what that is?
No.
Okay, well, it's a drink, and I'm gonna have a martini, and we're gonna sit there, and our wives are gonna become buddies, pals, and then Skog and I, we're gonna talk sports, movies, and then we have kids. You know, he's got a young son. I've got 3 young sons.
You guys were like meant to be.
We are. We're meant to be. We're pals.
Yeah,
we're
you're
pals.
like the same guy.
We are. Except I am much taller, and I could eat him if I wanted to. He's a little bitty guy. He's got a lot of energy. He's a high energy Jeff. I'm a low energy large man. Would you agree there? Low energy.
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty accurate. Yeah,
pretty low energy.
Yeah.
I can't run anymore. But no, I had a great time. Hey, this weekend, I want to say this. Minor league baseball should be my calling.
It should?
I got to see the guy. I got to see Sticks this weekend. I saw the beautiful legs of, I think his name was Vincent.
So he's part of the 66ers ground crew.
Oh, yeah, and he giggled. I heard him giggle as he ran.
Giggled?
Yeah, as he ran by me.
With his short shorts?
Yeah, because the whole family, the Gorham family, we were right next to where they come up. They go out there, and I know they all knew who I was because they were all looking at me and laughing.
Everybody said, yeah, that's the big Jeezy right there.
The
You see that
Jeezy.
guy? They call him the mayor in some circles.
Yeah, so the whole grounds crew came by. They were really nice. They smiled at us. And
their legs.
And showed their legs. Vincent's legs looked great. I got some great photos. I sent them out to all my buddies because Sticks is very, very popular. Everybody in the Cal League knows exactly who he is. So if you do go to the 66ers game, you go for the baseball, and then you go for Vincent's legs.
Stay for the legs.
Oh, they're amazing. The sticks were great.
Baseball.
But
Stay for the legs.
Johnny had a great second birthday, and
Luke.
I'm sorry, Luke. Oh my gosh, I screwed up.
Wrong baby.
Yeah, okay. So I've done that all weekend. Here's another. I'll tell you about that off the air, Pep, but I did it all weekend. So Luke watched the entire game. He sat on edge. He loved the game. Fast Johnny was looking around at all the Star Wars characters that were there. Fun time. I love it. I can't wait to go to a 66ers game. And then you and I, we're going to go to a Quakes game, and we're going to do a show from there. I've already booked this. We're going.
Did you talk to Skog about it?
Yes, he said we're going to do a show. So we're going to do a show from there.
Wow.
I can't wait.
Pretty fancy.
Fancy schmancy.
Well, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM is proudly brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona. We're talking about athletes of all different sports and all different levels. In fact, I've seen entire teams go in there and train, especially you football guys. I'm looking right at you. The football season is here, and they have special programs where you can train in season and keep your body right. So if you play high school football, check out Boost Performance Training. The website is boosttrainingsystems.com, and you can follow them on Instagram and Twitter. So if you're in season, you got to keep your body right. They have in-season programs to keep you going strong. Only at Boost Performance Training. Shall we talk a little NFL training camp news? Because the big news is who's not at training camp, Jeff. The fact that Aaron Donald, for the second year in a row, is holding out at Rams camp. And there's no end in sight. It sounds like he wants more money, and I get it, but it sounds like they're not even negotiating at this point. It sounds like they're at a stalemate, and nothing's budging on either side.
And I kind of agree with the Rams. I think they need to hold strong. You and I have talked. You want to have him because he is the best defensive lineman in the game of football, arguably. Would you agree there?
Yes.
But football is an offensive game now. It's the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, the running backs. Running backs are making a comeback as far as making a lot of money. Now it's just like in baseball. It's wins above replacement. That WAR metric. We're seeing that now in football. And Aaron Donald is only worth about 1.5 wins if you take into account his wins above replacement. So why would you pay a guy that kind of money when you can spend it on the guys that are scoring touchdowns for you? I agree with the Rams a little bit. I love him, but I think you don't give him quarterback money for a defensive lineman.
This just came to me. I took a class in college called Logic.
Yes.
Did you take Logic?
Of course, everybody did.
There's a thing called an unknowable fact.
Yes.
Where it almost goes back to this WAR rating when they say, okay, if you take, let's say, Mike Trout out of the lineup and put somebody else in, Mike Trout is good for this many more wins.
Yes.
But really, you're crunching numbers. That's an unknowable fact. You don't know for sure. Let's say for Aaron Donald, let's say he's worth, let's say, a win and a half. We'll put like 1.5. If you have him in the lineup, the Rams will win a game and a half, maybe 1.5 better than the previous season. Let's
put them at 12.5 wins.
But that's an unknowable fact.
Exactly.
I would love to get a logic professor on the air and break down this WAR rating because you're hypothetically crunching numbers. You don't really know. And I get what you're saying. We're living in a world right now where quarterbacks and receivers kind of run the league.
They do.
So you got to bulk up your secondary on the defensive side of the football and your linebackers. But Aaron Donald is the best defensive lineman in the NFL.
Agreed.
And he's probably going to get paid. But the first deadline that we're going to see comes up tomorrow. If he doesn't sign with the Rams by tomorrow, he will not be an unrestricted free agent next offseason. He will be a restricted free agent next offseason.
So anybody can offer him a set amount, but the Rams can match it, and he'll be a Ram.
The Rams can match the offer. Or what it sounds like is more likely is the Rams plan on putting the franchise tag on him next summer. So it doesn't really matter. So Aaron Donald could hold out as long as he wants. The Rams don't have to pay him, and they'll just put the 1-year franchise tag on him next offseason.
And they can do it for 3 straight seasons. We've seen it with, was it Le'Veon Bell?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you're right.
The franchise tag they put on him is in his third year. And the sad thing is,
and don't get me wrong, the franchise tag is pretty good money.
Oh, it's great money.
It's not bad money.
Only a 1-year deal.
It's only a 1-year deal, and it's probably not the most.
No.
Like, he's not going to get the most money, but it's still really good money.
And no signing bonus. That's the problem. But see, another problem is with Aaron Donald is if he sits out, he loses a year of his rookie contract. So essentially, if he's played 2 years or 3 years, he will have already played 5 according to his eligibility, but only accounts for 3. So it's really a dicey situation.
Okay, so the first deadline is tomorrow, and the deadline is tomorrow because it's 30 days before the first NFL game of the season, which I think it's the Falcons and the Eagles, I want to say, on a Thursday night. So 30 days before that, which would be tomorrow, and then he would be a restricted free agent next offseason. The other thing that we need to look for is, so the Rams play the Ravens on Thursday night in their first preseason game. If Aaron Donald does not play in that game, and it looks like there's no way, even if he signed with the Rams today, I don't know if he'd be up to speed to play by Thursday. But if he doesn't play on Thursday, it sounds like, from what I understand, you lose a game check, not a preseason game, a regular season NFL game check. And for Aaron Donald, that's $400,000. Now you're taking money away from him. Would that make him go back to camp? Probably. I just feel like the ball is in the Rams' court at this point because, again, they're not in a rush to sign him. In worst case scenario for the Rams, they just put the franchise tag on him next offseason, and he's not going anywhere.
No, and does it go $400 per game? Wow, that's a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, there's 4 preseason games?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
$2 million, almost $2 million.
Oh, yeah, you can't miss that. Aaron Donald coming to camp. Maybe the Rams will do something kind to you. They've done it to everyone else. You will get your turn.
Have you ever slept in an airport?
Have I?
You?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yeah, it was in Europe too, and I was worried somebody was going to pickpocket and steal my stuff, so I slept on my fanny pack. Literally, just laid on it.
You had a fanny pack.
Of course I do. When you travel in Europe, you wear a fanny pack.
Okay, well, our guy, John Maxwell, former associate athletic director at UC Riverside, now with the Las Vegas Aces. They made headlines because the Aces WNBA team had to stay in an airport for 24 hours.
What?
And John Maxwell's all his fault.
It is his fault.
We're going to talk to him next on the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
Inland Empire sports fans turn to the...
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here with Boost Training. We're here at the BPC and it's summertime. We have another Boost Training tip for you. This tip goes out to all the football players. You spent the entire offseason getting strong, putting on weight, getting bigger. Now it's time to make that sports specific and turn it into power. So these next few tips are going to show you exactly how to do that. Let's check it out. Okay, so our first tip of the day is what's called a depth jump. And this is a great drill to turn strength into power that you want to hit as you start getting closer to the season for an off-season football player. So what Cruz is going to do, he's going to take a quick step off the box. He's going to hit the ground as quickly as possible, get up, elevate, and he's going to land on the higher set of boxes here. All right, he's going to have his hips flexed, arms extended. He's going to hold that for a second. He's going to step back down. Here we go, Cruz. Let's hit it. Get up. Nice. Wants to hold that position for a second. Take a nice and easy step down. Depth jump, great drill to maximize power. There you have it. Now, we just showed you guys a depth jump. Now, one of the things that you can do to progress that and really take it to the next level, you can either elevate the 18-inch box here, all right, or we can elevate the landing box, all right? And remember, the goal here is to minimize ground contact and have a great counter movement, meaning when we hit the ground, we want to bring our arms through, all right? So just one of the things that you can do to make this more difficult and to maximize all those power gains. So that's our Boost Training tip of the day. Thanks for checking us out again. And make sure you stay up to date with everything that's Boost. Check our schedules, check our videos at our website at www.boosttrainingsystems.com. Check out our Twitter at Boost_training and our Instagram at Boost Training. Grind hard, stay solid.
focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Show. Here are your hosts, Pat Fernandez and Jeff Corum.
Welcome back to the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're proudly brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. They got weekly specials at Catalano Motors. You're going to save thousands of dollars. And right now, when you mention the Inland Sports Show, you get $500 off. You can't beat it. It's a sweet deal. We're putting money back in your wallet because we love the Inland Empire. That's Catalano Motors. CatalanoCars.com is their website. Go check it out. And then go to the car lot right there off Temescal Canyon Road. Catalano Motors. All right. He's one of our dear, dear friends. We haven't talked to him in a while.
He's busy.
Far too long. He's too busy for us. But that's okay. He's big time now. Johnny Maxwell, the former associate athletic director and dear friend of the show, now with the Las Vegas Aces of the WNBA. Maxwell, before we get to anything else, who'd you miss more, Jeff or I?
Oh, wow, that is a toss-up. It really depends on what day of the week it is. I miss you both tremendously.
Oh, that sounded
How you
very
guys doing?
sincere. We're doing good.
Yeah, just busy as can be as always, Mr. Maxwell, but good to hear your voice. I missed you, buddy.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. It's not the same out on the road without you guys.
Well, John, here's the deal. So I was going through the sports headlines, and I see a headline that said something to the effect of WNBA team sleeps in the airport. And I thought, that's kind of strange. I wonder who it was. So I click on the link, and sure enough, it was the Las Vegas Aces. And naturally, I thought of the great John Maxwell. So, John, you guys made headlines. Apparently, you can clarify the story and give us the added details. But it sounds like the Aces were in the airport for a total of 24 hours. So you guys were hanging out, sleeping. I mean, kind of paint us the picture of exactly what happened.
Yeah, I don't know that telling bad travel stories is the most interesting thing in the world for other people to hear. But essentially, we started out at about 1:15. Well, we left with the players where the players live in Vegas at 1:15 Pacific Coast time on Thursday. We've got a 1:15 flight going out that afternoon, and then slowly but surely, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it gets pushed back to 10 o'clock, to the point where we're not even sure if a flight's going to go out. We have to start looking for other options because you've got a travel party of about 20. They finally cancel the flight, and that's when the big-time scramble ensues because you can't just – it's not just us looking for a way to get to where we're going, and we were trying to head to Washington, D.C. to play the Mystics, but it's everybody on that plane trying to find a way. So we end up getting most of us booked on a flight through Dallas, but Coach Lambier had to go through Charlotte to get to D.C. So we ended up leaving at about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning Pacific Coast time to go to Dallas. Land in Dallas in the morning, and our connecting flight out of Dallas ends up being delayed by 2+ hours.
Are you serious?
And actually, well, then we're not all able to get on that flight, and it was really a scramble to get all our players on the flight until I was actually practically on the plane when we were finally able to get the airline to let us switch boarding passes so that a player could get on the plane and one of our assistant coaches and I could get off. So the players end up not landing in D.C. 2 o'clock, get to the hotel at 3:30, and they were originally supposed to play at 7. They moved it back to 8 to try to accommodate, but at that point, all the players had pretty much been just about awake for 25 straight, or not just awake for 25 straight hours, more like 30-something hours whenever they woke up Thursday morning. You guys have traveled. Trying to sleep on planes is tough, but when you don't really know, if we'd have known there was going to be a delay of 10 hours, fine, go home, go to sleep. But when it's constantly just sort of updating, they never really got any good sleep. There's not much good food in the airport, so they were all pretty beat when they hit D.C.
Did you guys win that game? I didn't look up the score.
Well, we did not play the game.
That's
You
right.
didn't play the game.
Yeah, there was actually a cancellation. That was the whole controversy was the WNBA or was it the team that you guys were supposed to play? Were they upset with it? Did they understand? Because there's a big controversy, on the internet, on various sports sites, saying that maybe you guys should have played.
Yeah, we've obviously been reading a lot of that, and kind of as an organization, we've been waiting to see what the league's plans are. Our players, in conjunction with the Players Association, put out a statement. They voted unanimously not to play the game, that they had, because of what they'd had to go through, didn't feel like, due to health and safety issues, that they would be able to play the game. It was just kind of too much for them to be able to go out and compete at the high level that they have been accustomed to performing, and it was a pretty tough decision on their part. Always love traveling to the different cities, playing in front of different WNBA fans, but the current science on sleep deprivation is such that they didn't feel like they could compete.
Now, are there
and do it without potentially hurting themselves more than you normally sort of expect to when you're competing in a professional basketball game. So the team opted not to play, and the game did not happen. And due to the scheduling this year, it's a bit compacted. There's really no good place to put a makeup game in the schedule. So we're still waiting to see what the final decision is going to be. But the players kind of knew that potentially the game could be forfeited at some point. But we're waiting to find out.
And John, I got to be honest, I'm kind of surprised this has not happened more often with teams, especially professional teams, whether it's basketball or baseball or whatnot. That this doesn't happen more often as you're jumping from city to city and trying to get to arenas at a certain time and whatnot. Like you said, even arriving the day of, even though you got there a couple hours early, it's certainly not enough to feel rested and ready to play in a game. But I'm kind of surprised this doesn't happen more, considering all the different leagues and the sports we're talking about. I think it was just kind of coincidence that it just kind of all fell in your guys' lap, especially when you guys got to Dallas, and then you had more issues. It was like issues on top of issues.
Yeah, it was obviously a perfect storm, and every team, I mean, I've been doing this for almost 30 years now, and you guys probably have travel stories from your time. But the difference is that in other instances, like we had a back-to-back this year where we had to play in Indiana at night, won that game, get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, get on a 4:30 bus to fly to, to get to the airport, fly to New York. The difference in those instances is you got 4 to 5 hours sleep after the game, and you got to the hotel and you were able to get 3 to 4 more hours sleep and be ready to play that night, because we never practice when we travel, so that's not an issue. This was completely different. There was no time really to sleep other than half hour here or there in the airport, because you think you're going to be leaving on a plane at 8:30, and then it's not till 9, it's not till 10. It's not like you can just sleep those 4 hours away. So that was kind of the difference. Lots of teams have had similar issues, but this is by far the worst one that I've been associated with or heard about, the fact that they never really got a chance to sleep in an actual bed and just got to catch a couple hours here and there, maybe on the hotel or in the airport seats, which are incredibly comfortable, or a little bit on the planes.
Hey, did they not understand that they were dealing with Bill Laimbeer? Did Laimbeer go crazy on anyone? Did he try to fight anyone?
Not at all.
Oh, man.
In fact, it's, once you find out the flight is, and ours was a mechanical issue, actually, but I know there was a lot of bad weather around that probably impacted some of it as well. Everyone kind of goes into triage mode. Everyone's on the phone trying to figure out when flights can be made, what other options are there. We had the league involved in terms of whether or not we could fly charter, because as many of people may not be aware, we fly commercial. So it's not that we want to, it's that the league rule is that you have to, because not every team could afford to fly charter. So that's just a way of kind of keeping the playing field even. League eventually said we could fly charter, but by the time we got that word, there just weren't any options available to us, and you kind of have to try and just get on anything you can. You can't wait and hope that something pops up.
Well, John, when are you going to have us out to Vegas to check out a WNBA game?
You guys are welcome anytime you'd like to. We've only got a few more games left in the regular season. I'm calling you from Atlanta at the moment. We're in Atlanta on Tuesday, but then we're back home Thursday, play Minnesota, and we've got a couple other home games left in August. Making a late playoff push, so still keeping our fingers crossed that we can get to one of those top 8 spots. But anytime you guys want to come up, you're more than welcome to.
I think we just booked it, right, Jeff?
I'm in. You know that. I wanted to ask you, your leading scorer, Wilson. Is it Aja Wilson? I don't want to mispronounce.
Aja Wilson.
She's phenomenal. This is her first year, right? She's averaging 20 points and almost 9 rebounds a game. She's a stud.
Yeah, slam dunk rookie of the year since game 1 when she posted a double-double, and has even worked her way into the MVP discussion. A player unlike any I've seen at the women's professional level, just has a great combination of an inside-outside game, doesn't have three-point range, but can hit that elbow jumper, can shoot over people, has a real high extension on her shot so you can't block it, but then she's quick enough to drive by you, so it makes it real tough to guard her. And, of course, you can't zone in the WNBA, so it's really a headache for a lot of players on the opposition to try and guard her. She's only going to get better. She's a great student of the game.
Yeah, you have Kayla McBride, another big name, Tamara Young, and then my favorite, Kelsey Plum. I remember Kelsey Plum from her San Diego days as a high school player and one of the best collegiate players ever at the University of Washington. I bet she's kind of fun to watch, to see her grow as a player in the NBA, the WNBA.
Yeah, she really is, and she's been put in sort of a unique situation. She was a shooting guard throughout her entire career, but then when she got to WNBA, everyone said, you know what, we don't see you as a shooting guard, we see you as more of a point guard. So she's had to learn a completely new position. It was even tougher for her this year coming back because she played in Turkey and had a real late season. She missed all of training camp and the first 2 games of the regular season. You've got a new head coach, you've got a new city, brand new team, and as a point guard, you're being asked to come in and learn all that without any kind of a training camp. But she's been playing really well of late, had a season high 21 yesterday in an unfortunate loss for us at Connecticut. But she's really come around and taken to that point guard role, even though it wasn't sort of naturally what she was built to do in high school and college.
John, we got to run, but it's always great hearing from you. I'm glad you guys made it to Atlanta safe and sound, and let's talk again soon.
We'll do it, guys. Like I said, anytime you want to come up, happy to host you.
John Maxwell from the Las Vegas Aces live on the Inland Sports Show from Atlanta. Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, guys. Talk to you later.
See ya. John Maxwell. We come back on the Inland Sports Show, our high school football preseason rankings. We'll be right back.
Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Everybody needs to get their oil change. In fact, you're probably overdue right now. You got to do it every 3,000 miles. Some of you are 5,000 miles, like me. But you still got to do it, or your car might die on the side of the road. It's hot out there. You don't want that to happen. You get a mint, you get a flour, and it all goes down. It's Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change right there off the 215 freeway. Just get off on Alessandro Boulevard. You can't miss it. Smack dab between Riverside and Moreno Valley. It may be the best decision you make today. Going to Spoiled. All right, Jeff, the moment of truth.
The moment.
We have our high school football preseason rankings. And what we normally do is we have our Great 8 and 4 more rankings. But instead, we're going to do a little different this time around. You have your rankings. I have my rankings. I want to see how on par you and I are.
And we didn't talk.
No, we didn't.
And it was surprising when it came out. Didn't go through a computer. It was just handwritten and sent to you. And then you sent me yours and boom.
This is just for fun. We will send it to the Inland Sports computer. It will squirt out some rankings. But this was just for fun.
Yes.
Because we have scrimmages this week. Like, football season is officially here this week. We've got scrimmages on Thursday and Friday. And next week is week 0. It kicks everything off. So we've got a lot to get to. I want to say Santa Cruz. I was in Santa Cruz when I texted you and said, hey, Jeff, give me your grade 8 and 4 more. You do your own preseason football rankings in our Inland Sports coverage area. So don't get mad at us and say, hey, why is it, I don't know, Oak Hills?
Yes. There we go.
Because we do like Oak Hills. But they're not in our coverage area.
No, they're
not. Can't do anything about it. So don't get mad at us. These are the teams in our coverage area. You did yours. I did mine. First, let's go over the 4 more.
All right.
And, Jeff, here's my first beef with you. And I got a lot of beef. I got a lot of problems.
You got a lot of beef. I know you do.
I said, Jeff, let's do our grade 8 and 4 more. He's like, sure. So he texts me back. You picked more than 4.
I did. Yeah, I did. I was gonna go like 1 through 25.
You were like a top 25?
Oh, I had it going. I was like, boom. But then I realized maybe I would miss a team. I was just doing it off the top of my head. But yes, I did do more than that.
Let's work backwards.
Okay.
Give me your 4 more in no particular order. This would be teams ranked from 9 through 12.
All right. I'm going to go backwards. So I'm going to go 9 through or 12 backwards. What do you want me to do? 9?
Doesn't matter. In no particular order. Just your 4 more.
My 4 more would be Yucaipa, Valley View, Citrus Hill, and Murrieta Mesa.
We're close.
Very, very close.
We're very close. My 4 more for our high school football preseason rankings, and my 4 more in no particular order: Yucaipa, Citrus Hill. You said Citrus Hill, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Murrieta Mesa.
Yes.
You said the Rams. And my 4th and final of the 4 more would be Santiago. The Sharks are coming back. They play in a very tough Big 8 league. I like this team. I think they're going to make some waves out there with the Sharks. So that's my 4 more. All right. Now let's get to the grade 8. And you know what, Jeff? This is tough. There's a lot of good high school football in the Inland Empire. I didn't take this lightly. You didn't take it lightly. There were some hard decisions to make. I felt like Dave Roberts filling out the Dodgers lineup card. I mean, this was tough.
Yeah, a couple of these teams we based on merit, what they have done in the past, but there are some big question marks. So just like any preseason poll, there could be some changes drastically after the first couple weeks just because we don't know. There's
that's a fantastic disclaimer because you're right. This is basically on what did they do last year and who's coming back.
Competitive equity.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
So you're right. After a couple weeks, we're going to be like, ooh, that team's a lot better than we thought. And maybe there's a team on the list that's not up to par that will, at least what we thought.
Exactly.
Here's the grade 8. Let's start at number 8 and we'll work back towards 1. My number 8 is Redlands East Valley. You might think that's kind of low for them, but listen, Rich Lunsford, he's going to do a great job. He did a great job at Arlington. Lunsford's got a bunch of great guys in there. I just don't know how to put them ahead of Cajon or some of these other schools that we're going to list off, but I have Redlands East Valley in at number 8. I feel like they've got a realistic chance of moving up a couple spots in the first couple weeks of the season if they play how I think they're going to play. Who do you have at number 8?
I have Vista Murrieta, and I agree with your Rev assumption, but the only thing is the question factor of, is it going to be a different brand of football at Rev? So I couldn't put them in that group. I think they're going to be good, but my question is different brand of football. So Vista Murrieta is my number 18.
Speaking of Vista Murrieta, let's go to number 7. That's where I have the Broncos. Vista Murrieta had a down season. They were the third-place team in the Southwestern League from a year ago. I've got to think with Coach Peterson coming on board, who's another Coley Candell disciple, that last year was an anomaly. It's not going to happen again. Are they going to beat Murrieta Valley, who's the back-to-back champions in the Southwestern League? I don't know if I'm ready to go that far yet, but Vista Murrieta is definitely going to be better. I have them checking in at number 7. And if you remember, Jeff, there was probably about 4 or 5 years in a row, if we were doing football rankings, it always went Centennial number 1, Vista Murrieta number 2. They were always right there on the heels of Centennial. They've slipped off a little bit, but I got them at number 7. Who do you got at 7?
I have Tommy Leach and those Mustangs of Roosevelt. I saw him in that 7-on-7. I know it's not a great indicator because you don't see a lot of that line, but those skilled positions, a couple key surprises, and they have a lot of athletes. So I went out on a limb, and I'm going with the Roosevelt Mustangs.
The Mustangs have some question marks because they've got 2 really good quarterbacks.
That's the
but
key.
Who's going to be the guy? They've got 2 quarterbacks. We saw them both at the passing league at Temecula Valley, but who's going to step up and be that starter for Tommy Leach, who's a new dad again? Congratulations to Coach Leach out there at Roosevelt High School. Let's move to number 6. Jeff, now it's getting really tough. I was sitting there in the small town of Gonzales on the Central Coast, and I was thinking, man, I don't even know who to pick at this point because now it's getting really juicy. At number 6, I've got the Rancho Verde High School. They are your defending CIF Southern Section D3 champions. Pete Duffy is back as the head coach, so I don't really see a fall off going from Jeff Steinberg to Pete Duffy. Brock White is back as quarterback. They've got both their running backs back. Rancho Verde is still loaded. They're going to be really good again. They are well, I know it's a new league, the Ivy League, but they're going to be one of the favorites now to win in this new Rain Cross Conference. I think Rancho Verde is loaded again. I have them checking in at number 6.
I have them as well. And just for the simple fact is, you said it, Brock White, and I think Jefferson is a phenomenal back, and they have a 2-headed beast at running back there.
Xavier Ugorji is the other guy.
Unbelievable, and they always have great bookend wide receivers. And I'm telling you, Brock White, we saw last year a couple growing pains early, but man, the team that I saw at the beginning of the year and the team I saw at the end, completely different teams. And we know they're going to be offensive minded because their new head coach was the offensive coordinator at Murrieta Valley with the great Hank Bachmeyer and Marquise Spiker. I think that is going to be an exciting team offensively to watch.
Yeah, Pete Duffy's going to come in there, and they're not going to even skip a beat with the Mustangs. Speaking of Murrieta Valley, as we move to number 5, that's where I have the Nighthawks right now. I'm not sure. We love Hank Bachmeyer, and Coach George Wilson came in our studio. He's a great guy. I just want to see with my own eyes what else they have this year because they always had like another big star or two on offense that we heard about. And I'm sure there's guys that are going to be stepping up and they'll become household names in the Inland Empire. But we always had like a Marquise Spiker or someone out there waiting in the wings, for Hank Bachmeyer to toss the ball to. I just want to see what else they got. I still have them at number 5. They're my highest ranked Southwestern League school. I still think they're really good. They're Division I. I just want to see what they got. They could move up a couple spots once the season gets going here.
Well, I have at my number 5, I have Norco out of the Big 8. I think Norco is my biggest question is with Norco, do you go with Nick Lasher, the guy who was all CIF last year? They've got a great offensive line, and Coach Chastain does a magnificent job running the best offense for his dudes. But the question is, will Nick Lasher be the quarterback, or will it be Illingsworth, the transfer from everywhere? Villa Park, Centennial, and Corona.
Yeah.
So that is my biggest question. They will have a potent offense, but is it enough? I don't know. That's my big question. I have them at number 5.
and that's where I flip-flopped it with you. I have Norco at 4, and you've got Marietta Valley,
I
right?
do. Yes, I do.
So you and I just had those two flip-flop. I put Norco ahead of Marietta Valley for the simple fact that they've got a really tough non-league schedule. So I think once we get through the first 3 or 4 games of the season, we're going to find out how good this Norco team is. I'm betting on the fact that they're going to be really good, and they're going to be like at least 3-1. They're going to knock off some really good teams in this non-league portion of their schedule. Now, if they don't, obviously they're going to slip down in our rankings. But I feel like if they can beat those teams, they're going to be up there really high. In fact, they might even leapfrog, let's say, our number 3 team, which we both agreed on, Heritage. Heritage, year in and year out, Jeff, probably one of the top 2 or 3 programs in the Inland Empire. And every year, they have to replace their stars. They always seem to find a way to do it. This year, same situation. Who's going to be their running back? You know, they told us who was going to be Carlos Ruelas, right?
Yes.
But he's not a household name yet. You know, usually they'd have like a Jamal Morrow coming back or a Sherrod White coming back. Like you knew who was coming back.
Or it's Luna time. No Luna.
Javier Luna. This year, there's just a lot of question marks. But based on the history that they've had, there's no reason not to believe in Heritage.
Well, I'm basing it based on their younger, lower levels. And they were great their freshman team was great last year. Their JV team was great last year. And like you said, they fill those gaps. They fill those holes every year. And you can never bet against Coach Broach. Because if it ain't Broach.
We both like him at number 3.
Yes, I agree.
At number 2, we both agree on this team. That is the Cajon Cowboys. If it wasn't for Centennial, Cajon would probably be the best team in the Inland Empire. Similar to Heritage, they lost some really good players who graduated from that senior class last year. But Jaden Daniels is back at quarterback. Big, tall Darren Jones. Their stud linebacker, Jonathan Perkins. They're loaded, and they've got a bunch of young guys who saw a little bit of playing time last year, but they're like Division I caliber college players. They're ready to go. They're not going to skip a beat either. They might have the toughest non-league schedule I've ever seen. We're going to find a lot about the Cowboys before they even hit the CBL because that schedule is tough, but don't be surprised to see them at 4-1 or 5-0, even better for Cajon.
Well, I will say this. You have the best possibly the best 1-2 tandem with Jones and Daniels, maybe in the entire country. When you have a 6'8" wide receiver that can run, jump, and have great hands, and a quarterback who is undeniably the best quarterback in the entire country, that's a 1-2 punch that you can't bet against. If we're talking about WAR, wins above replacement, you can't replace either one of those guys. So if you're putting up 50 points a game, that's your defense, that's your offense, and those two guys are both of those guys.
So Cajon's number 2. That makes number 1. Again, it just wouldn't feel right if we didn't put Centennial on top of our preseason rankings.
They
right?
are just plain evil every single year. Evil.
They have 2 big-time running backs in Kinslow and Cortez. They're back as seniors. They're going to lead that attack. They're going to have a very strong defense. They've got a guy named Drake Jackson on the defensive line who's one of the best in the country. Their question mark is the quarterback position. Who's going to emerge as the starting quarterback? They've got 2 or 3 guys that could be.
They have 4 guys. They have 4 guys. If you look on their max preps and you look at their roster, you go 4 guys that could legitimately start for this team and any team in Southern California. There's a couple of transfers came in. That's the question mark because Tanner McKee, was he not the best quarterback in the country last year? Yes, he was. And how do you replace the best quarterback in the country? With one of those 4.
Someone's going to have to step up. And if you know Matt Logan and you know Centennial, kind of like what they do at Heritage, there's no reason not to believe they're going to stay at that level. There's no reason. In fact, and we're going to find out from the very first game when they take on Chandler, Arizona, who Max Preps, I believe, ranked like number 10 in the entire nation. Centennial's beaten Chandler, Arizona before. It's not like, ooh, Centennial gets to play Chandler. No, it's, oh, Chandler gets to play Centennial.
Yeah,
Let's not make a mistake about that.
2 years ago, Norco High School, they took care of him.
It was a wild one all the way down to the finish. And Tanner McKee, Miles Reed, and company finished them off at Norco High School. That's the first game of the season for Centennial. It's at Centennial High School. If the Huskies beat Chandler, I think that's going to set the tone for the rest of the season. That will leave no doubt that Centennial is still on top of the pack, certainly here in the Inland Empire. But I can bet you right now, the Mater Days and the Boscos of the world are going to be keeping an eye on that Centennial-Chandler game, because if Centennial beats Chandler, like I think they will, everyone else is going to take notice.
Yeah, they should. I mean, this could be the year. Could be another breakout year. Disappointment when they came up short last year. You know, they played a great game against Marietta Valley. Guys were getting hurt all over the place.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Centennial team stay healthy the entire year, but they do play such a grueling schedule. Kind of tough to do when you're playing such great teams.
Yeah, last year in the playoffs, they met Bosco in the CIF Southern Section Division I semifinals. Nobody was scoring on Bosco. And even with Tanner McKee out with their backup quarterback, Centennial still scored like 30-plus points on Bosco. People always will look back on that season and say to themselves, you know, if Tanner McKee, the quarterback, was healthy for Centennial, could they have beaten Bosco? Because Bosco went on and they met Mater Dei in that championship game, and I think Mater Dei won it. It was a close game, and then Mater Dei went on to beat De La Salle for the Open Division Championship. But again, Chandler versus Centennial, week 0, next Friday at Centennial High School. That's going to be huge. If Centennial wins, and I think they will, look out for the Huskies, especially if you're named Mater Dei or Bosco. They're coming for you. All right, we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. Let's talk a little college football. What is going on at Alabama? What is the deal with their quarterbacks? You know, we saw our guy Blake Barnett from Santiago transfer out, and a lot of people were scratching their heads thinking, what in the world? You know what? Maybe Blake Barnett was kind of on the forefront of what's going on with the Crimson Tide in their quarterback situation. Can't really blame the guy now. We're going to talk about Alabama quarterbacks and how it relates to our guy Blake Barnett from Santiago High School when we come back on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I think that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes. And we can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We're small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajalco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thanks for listening to Fox Sports, home of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
We are Fox Sports! Forgive me, El Guapo. I know that I, Jefe, do not have your superior intellect and education. But could it be that once again, you are angry at something else and are looking to take it out on me?
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Yeah, you might as well be walking on the sun. It's hot out there. Greg has his goblet. He's got a fan in the studio. What's next?
I'm just happy that you know this song.
Oh, yeah, this is, hold on. I'm not going to look. Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah. I know those guys.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah, I know those guys.
Oh, you're the worst when it comes to music. The one-hit wonders never cease to amaze me. That you know them all.
I know them all. Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're proudly brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the IE, providing you with all of your sporting gear needs. And Letterman's Jackets. They can do uniforms for the entire team or your company or your business. Go check them out. KenSportingGoods.com is the website. They're right there off the 15 freeway in Horsetown, USA. Norco. Just turn on Hamner. All right, right now we're going to go to the spoiled, quick quality oil change celebrity hotline, although he's on the Comrex, if we're going to nerd out on technology right now. He filled in Thursday and Friday. In fact, Jeff didn't even want me back. Nope. But I'm here anyways. It's the great Mike Lindskog. Skog, how are you doing?
What's up, fellas? Pep, welcome back.
Hey, it's good to be back. You guys sounded great. Jeff said he and his wife are going to go on a double date with you and your wife. Like, you guys really hit it off. I mean, man.
We're besties.
Forgive me for, like, getting in the middle here. I mean, you guys are, like, BFFs now.
Yeah, well, that's when you step aside, Pep, you run the risk of losing your BFF there. So, you got to make room now.
Well, Mike, what's going on with the Quakes? You've lost a couple in a row. We got to get this back on track.
Yeah, well, I think it does relate to the fact that I was in studio on Thursday and Friday, and ever since I've left the studio now, crash and burn. 3 in a row? What's going on, Pep? I blame you.
I was going to blame you, but yeah. You're right. You go out of the broadcast booth for a little bit and come in here back in the studio, and the Quakes get on a little bit of shaky ground here. But I wanted to ask you, Mike, behind the scenes, did you race out of the studio on Thursday and go back to Lomart Field, and then on Friday, did you go all the way to Lancaster to help out old Chappie?
Well, on Thursday, I did race out of the studio because it was a home game. On Friday, I raced out of the studio, but once we fell behind 16-0 in the third inning, I got to tell you, I took my foot off the gas pedal. I enjoyed the view on the way to Lancaster. My wife and I stopped over at a gas station, had an amazing gas station. Didn't know. That's not quite true. But, I did make it to Lancaster on Friday night after hosting the Inland Sports Show right here on Fox Sports, 1350 a.m. Ran down to Lancaster by way of car. And then, got there right in the nick of time before Chappie was able to deliver the knockout blow on himself.
Yeah, in fact, you had mentioned it's really tough to pitch in that environment just because of the wind. And you guys
did I say that?
You did. You did. And it came to fruition.
Oh.
It was brutal. I listened to the game. I cried. I felt I felt bad for the team, but I really felt bad for Andrew Chapman because we've all been there. I've called basketball games where somebody, the team I'm hoping wins loses by 50, and you just got to fill time. Rough night for the old Chappie Chap.
It was. The Quakes dropped a 20-run decision on Friday. We lost 21-1. We were down literally 16-0 after 3 innings of play. It is no surprise if it's going to be a game like that. It's no surprise it's going to happen in Lancaster. Weird things happen there. The wind, the altitude. Pitchers hate to pitch there. I said it on this very show, on this very network. I said Wills Montgomery, who gave up the couple of runs in the first inning, didn't even make it out of the first inning. I said he knows not what he's getting into by making his California League debut in Lancaster. He was literally fresh off the California League turnip truck making his debut, and he had a tough go of it in the first inning. Ironically, he only gave up 3 of the 21 runs, so it hit his teammates even harder at points during the game. But it was a tough night. But you know what? From the perspective you're talking about, I told Andrew, I said this was good for you. This will be his first year in the California League. He's here to experience everything. We've done everything as far as I took him to High Desert and showed him the former High Desert Mavericks ballpark. I've taken him to the California League restaurants, and if you haven't had your tail kicked and had to sit through an absolute beat down in Lancaster, you're not really a California League broadcaster. So he had to get his, and, well, we know he got his now.
So, Mike, what did he fill the time with? Like, after the first 3 innings, what was he talking about?
I don't know. You think I was listening?
I just assumed you were.
I don't know. I got to tell you, man, he always gives me, a high five or whatever when I walk in the room, but the sense of relief when I walked in on Friday, it really was. It was like, oh, somebody's going to be there to rescue me here a little bit. And all I did was, just interject with some fine color commentary over the last couple of innings to save the day. But no, he was a champ, but he had to get his a little bit. We all got to go through that in our growth to be good broadcasters.
So, Mike, are you in San Jose right now?
Where is it? Yeah.
He's like, where
I'm in
am
San
I?
Jose. Hang on, I got to check the compass. Yep, San Jose.
San Jose.
I'm at the ballpark.
Taking on
I'm at the ballpark right now. I'm watching the Giants take some batting practice. I was just told that Hunter Strickland, guy that punched a wall and went on the DL for the San Francisco Giants here about 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
He is here. He is going to start a rehab assignment tonight. He will work out of the bullpen, and if it doesn't go well, hey, drywall, look out. hopefully he's learned his lesson to move on from concrete wall to drywall.
Oh, one-man demo crew
Maybe a
over
nice
there.
piece of plywood, perhaps.
Or just throw your glove down on the ground like a couple of major leaguers have done recently.
Sean Kelly?
You can Gatorade.
Did you see what the was it the general manager of the Washington Nationals said about Sean Kelly? It was a nice twist on an old cliche saying: if you're not in, you're in the way. And I thought that was a nice take and a nice twist on the original. You're either in or you're out. He said you're either in or you're in the way. And Sean Kelly apparently was in the way. They ended up trading him to Oakland here yesterday.
Yes, they did.
That is true. Hey, Mike, do you have any insight on Hyunjin Ryu? Because it sounds like he might make another rehab start. Could that be with you guys?
I sure believe it could be. There's a rotation spot here coming up that is unspoken for. Right now it's the ever-famous TBD, to be determined. And certainly that's a potential spot that he could slide into. That would be at Lone Mart Field maybe as early as Friday night. We've got Walker Buehler bobblehead night, courtesy of All-Star Kia, coming up on Friday. It would be awesome if we had a little Dodger rehab action coming up on Friday. So stay tuned. Maybe we'll be able to confirm something later on in the week.
Hey, Mike, so based on your experience, when the Dodgers see that you guys, like right now, you're on the road in Northern California, but when you're back home, like you said, going into this weekend, does it make their decision a little bit easier knowing that a guy like Hyunjin Ryu just has to go down the road and pitch in Rancho Cucamonga as opposed to sending him to track you guys down in Visalia or San Jose or Stockton or one of those towns?
Well, we sure like to think so. I mean, we've got such a great situation. Again, you come to the ballpark, you look at the ballpark, first-class facility, first-class experience, the behind-the-scenes stuff, the clubhouse, the medical room, training room, and all that good stuff. It's up to par. Some of these ballparks are dealing with, things in their clubhouse that may not make it perhaps the best environment, if you will. We don't worry about that at Lone Mart Field. We first-class facility, great relationship with the Dodgers. We sure do like to think what you're saying, that it's an easy trip to Rancho Cucamonga. Rather than muscle him up here, bus him, fly him. Really is more realistic.
Yeah, they're not going to.
San Jose.
Hey, Hyunjin Ryu, go get on the next Greyhound bus and meet the guys in Modesto.
Yeah, or Amtrak it up. Who knows? No, they're not going to do that. They would fly him up here. But, we'd like to think that, the situation that we provide for these Dodger rehabbers down at Lone Mart Field is certainly a good one. He was there in our last homestand against the Lake Elsinore Storm. He pitched 4 scoreless innings this past Thursday night. Just a great scenario for him on his way back from the groin injury. And we'd love to see him again at Lone Mart Field potentially this weekend.
Mike, we really appreciate you doing the show this past Thursday and Friday. Working with Jeff, was it everything you dreamed of or more? Or
I don't know about everything I dreamed of. I mean, I did escape without a bear hug, and so that's good news for my ribs. He's a big fella, No, we had a great time. We were missing on you a little bit, but, we made fun and ran a little smack on your behalf.
Hey, Lindskog, guess what? I don't know if you
caller,
know.
who's this?
It's Jeff here.
Oh, hey, Jeff. I forgot your first name, sorry.
I went out to a Cal League game.
I heard.
And guess who I saw?
Was the Force with you?
The Force was definitely with me, but they gave me seats right next to the grounds crew as they walked off the field. It was a big chuckle, so I think they knew I was there, but my youngest, Luke, I got to make sure I say this right, enjoyed the entire game. He was on the edge of his seat, and I've never seen a 2-year-old watch baseball for an hour and a half straight without taking his eyes off it.
That's so great to hear, man. That makes me excited. That's what parents need to do. Take your kid to a ball game. I don't care if it's at Lone Mart Field in Rancho or San Manuel Casino Stadium in Inland Empire. Take your kids to ball games. That's the way it's supposed to be.
You're a good dad, Jeff.
I don't know how good a dad. Hey, but I did bring Smetty Smedberg was with me, and Johnny, Fast Johnny was there. But Johnny was all into, it was Star Wars night. He was chasing Darth Vader around, looking at some stormtroopers. It was a good night, but I will say this. I can't wait to get out to Lone Mart Field and see you guys in action, hopefully as soon as the next couple weeks.
We got to do it soon.
Yeah.
Before the playoffs.
We can't wait to see you see us.
Mike, what time does pregame start tonight up there in San Jose?
The Lone Mart pregame report begins at 6:45. First pitch, 7 o'clock, is your Rancho Cucamonga Quakes take on the San Jose Giants, the hated ones in the California League North Division.
Hey, please do like a whole game like that. Your ratings would go through the roof. You know that, right?
Oh, Pep. I don't think they can track my ratings. If they could, I think that's a terrible suggestion. So quit giving out bad advice, Pep.
You know what? Maybe we can get you in studio, though, and do that voice and do like a promo for the Inland Sports Show.
In all honesty, so our first Star Wars night that I've ever been involved with, this is years ago when I was working back in Springfield, Missouri for the St. Louis Cardinals. We did a Star Wars night, and I vowed that coming up on that particular night, I was going to do a whole half inning as Yoda.
Give us a sample, Mike. Come on, man.
Base hit to left, it will.
Oh, that's so good. Did you guys do that, Jeff, when I was gone? Any Yoda play-by-play?
You have no idea.
What do we did? Strong is he.
Hey, Skog, he had no idea. I told him you were a wild man. He's like, no, he's not. I go, yeah, he kind of is. It was like you and I were simpatico. We were the same dude.
Wild, not unlike you, Jeffrey.
Oh, man. The Star Wars nerd, I love it.
Oh, you should have heard him doing. He was doing Hannibal Lecter as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, we gotta cap this somewhere though. That also is true. My wife. That was for my wife. She likes the Hannibal Lecter. Who wouldn't?
The lotion goes into the basket.
Quakes taking on San Jose tonight. Pre-game 6:45. Mike believes he's up there in San Jose, and is Chap up there too? Or is this
He is. He's sitting right here. Say hi, Chap.
Hey guys, how we doing?
No,
I've been listening in.
Chap.
And let's hope we don't have a lopsided ball game tonight from San Jose. Quakes with a lot of success up in the Bay Area this season.
Chap. The lotion makes the skin soft. He has no
I
idea.
don't know what to say. This is also
impressions.
part of your California League broadcaster initiation. You got to sit through that 20-run loss, and you got to hear Jeff Gorham do his Hannibal Lecter impersonations.
Oh, yeah. It's great time. Great time.
Andrew
All right,
Chapman,
so are we
Mike
done?
Lindskog on the call tonight. I like how Mike just pops on the Comrex. He doesn't have to call anymore. He's just like, hey, put me on the show, Greg.
Yes, you're a professional. We got this cool fandangled technology that can put us right through. Doesn't even need
That's
to
the
call
only
in.
cool fan. It's hot in this booth, man. We got no fans, no AC in this press box.
Ooh.
I hate it.
San Jose's a little bit inland. Like, it gets a little warmer there than you would see maybe in the city.
The temperature outside is fine, but we're cooking in this booth. Baking like a toasted cheeser, Benny.
It's like the Inland
so
Sports
hot.
Show. It's just like the studio here
Our
at
little
Fox
studio,
Sports.
Yeah,
Skog,
because of Greg Hollow, though.
Hey, Greg Hollow brought a fan in today. He's got a big blue goblet
What's
full
her
of
name?
ice. What's her name?
Steve.
Figured.
Skog, you're the best. Tell Chappie
All
we
right.
said what's up.
Pep missed you last week.
Hey, I missed you too, guys.
Bye,
we'll,
boys.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, yeah, take him off the Comrex. Get him off. It's like Chapman's just sitting there. Like, listen, Mike
12.
knows it. He loves the microphone. He loves being on.
Oh, Chappie, he's 12. God bless him. He's shoeless. Looks like Tom Sawyer.
Painting fences.
Wearing
Wearing overalls right now.
Got his knapsack. He's got his lunch bag and $2 stapled to it. Oh, just love that little kid.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back on the Inland Sports Show, we'll talk more about Los Dodgers. The Dodgers, man. What's their starting rotation going to look like? Is Rio going to pitch again for Rancho Cook? Is he coming back? What's the starting five going to look like for the Dodgers going forward? Also, we got to get back to the Alabama quarterback situation because it kind of hits home with our guy Blake Barnett from Corona, Santiago High School. And also, who's going to replace Mike Scioscia? Or does he need to be replaced? Maybe he's not leaving.
And more breaking news regarding Aaron Donald.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, it's getting real juicy when we get back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
If you don't say you love...
Cora.
Greg Holla, man, bring it out on Monday. The Beatles of the Big West Conference, the mighty, mighty Bosstones. That's how you get your Monday cracking.
Hey,
does it make you feel good?
It
You
always
feel alive.
Yeah, it's the Beatles of the Big West. You know, I was going to tell you, I was just looking at my, my news, my TMZ.
TMZ.
Wow.
I go to like Fox Sports. You go to TMZ.
Were you a big Mighty Ducks fan?
The movies?
Yes.
Yeah. What was his name? Billy Bombay? What was the
Gordon.
Gordon Bombay.
Gordon Bombay.
That's
Hey,
right. The coach.
The
Emilio.
The goalie. Remember Goldberg?
Yeah.
Goldberg's not looking so good, my friend.
No?
Holy smokes. He just got arrested.
Did he let himself go a little bit?
Oh, he's let him, man, he
got fat, right?
Are you sure, Jeff, that's him?
Yes, we just confirmed it.
Let me show it to me again.
Unbelievable.
The picture. Holy smokes, man.
Meth is not a good drug. Not good at
How
all.
old should he be?
He's only 22.
No, shut up. But he's probably, what, like
38 years old.
38?
Yeah, but he literally looks 55, 60 years old.
Yeah, I was
going to
say like 60 years old.
Yeah, that guy, he lost all that weight. But, man, he is just horrendous.
Golly.
Yeah, meth, not a good drug, guys. Not good at all.
Jeez Louise.
He definitely, wow.
The goalie.
He got arrested. That's.
Hey, we got more breaking news than the
news.
Mighty Ducks goaltender from the 80s. You said Aaron Donald's got breaking news on the show.
Aaron Donald is going to continue the holdout. He will be, and says, will be a restricted free agent in the year 2019.
So basically, he's fine with holding out. He's fine with being a restricted free agent next offseason. He's fine with that. But now we talked about the other deadline or whatever's coming up is Thursday when the Rams play their first preseason game. He's gonna miss out on $400,000.
He says, I have no plans to rejoin the team in the near future.
Wow.
Really? Yep.
That's sad.
Very sad.
If you know the Rams are going to put a franchise tag on you
for 3 years.
Dude, just report to the team. And next offseason, if you get the franchise tag, you're going to make good money. And if you're a restricted free agent, someone's going to offer you good money that the Rams will be forced to match if they really want you.
Yes.
So either way, you're going to get your money next year. You're not going to get it now. You're going to get it next year.
Man.
But now you're losing money. Not only are you not making money, you're losing money.
He's going to lose probably about $1.6 million just in the preseason alone.
If he does not play.
Incredible. And he'll lose a year towards his retirement. He will lose a year towards his rookie contract. This is not good for the best defensive player in football. Defensive lineman, I should say.
Yeah, they said it's a game check. It's $400,000 a game. And they play Thursday. They play the Ravens Thursday.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That's a lot of money.
Ridiculous.
All right, we go from breaking news on the Mighty Ducks and Aaron Donald of the Rams.
I had to show you that, man. It was
because the Inland Sports Show is always proudly brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. Visit the website, CatalanoCars.com. Go check it out for yourself, and then you can go get a sweet new whip out there. Sports cars, SUVs, all the good stuff. At Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. When you mention the Inland Sports Show, $500 off at Catalano Motors in Corona. That's no joke. That's more breaking news right here on the show. $500 off at Catalano Motors in Corona. So we were just talking with Mike Lindskog, old Skoggy Skog, saying there's a good chance Hyunjin Ryu, starting pitcher for the Dodgers, could make another rehab assignment, possibly with the Quakes. Looks like maybe at the back end of this week when the Quakes come back to Rancho Cucamonga and Lone Mart Field. I don't know if you guys talked about this on Friday, Jeff, but Hyunjin Ryu looked pretty good on Thursday night. 4 scoreless innings. He was great, but for whatever reason, not enough to convince the Dodgers to bring him back up to the big league level.
Well, they said, in fact, there was a statement beforehand. They don't have room to not waive somebody, but put somebody on the injured reserve list. So what they decided to do is they're going to give him, it looks like 5 starts in rehab.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So we could see him 4 more times. But he did bring a giant conglomerate of Korean press. They wanted to be on TV. They wanted all kinds of stuff. And Mike Lindskog had to take care of them before.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah. He was in charge of the entire thing. He said.
I missed that. Was Skog talking about that?
He talked about it. He said it was unbelievable. He said his wife was sat in the, I called them bleachers. I got yelled at. She sat in the seats, not up in a luxury box. She was part of the fan experience. He said it was a great time. But he said, just like Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese conglomerate, this was the Korean conglomerate, and it was packed with their big media.
Because they do follow around their Asian athletes, like Hyunjin Ryu.
Well, Hyunjin Ryu stayed and signed autographs for every single person that wanted one. He was great with the fans. He was great at Lone Mart Field. He was great in the clubhouse. There was nothing but great things said about him.
But what did he bring for dinner?
That was the big question. We did not.
You didn't get to it?
He didn't do it that first night, but he was supposedly going to do it.
Maybe he didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to say maybe he didn't know.
Maybe he'll do sushi like, was it Andre Ethier?
Andre Ethier did sushi.
Brought in sushi. We talked about that last week, too.
Here's all the starting pitchers for the Dodgers. Who knows what the rotation will look like, assuming they make the playoffs. We don't even know if they're going to make the postseason, but let's just assume they will. Clayton Kershaw, Walker Buehler, Rich Hill, Alex Wood, Kenta Maeda, Hyunjin Ryu, Ross Stripling. Julio Urias might even be back in the mix when this is all said and done. Dave Roberts has a lot of decisions not only to make on the mound, but also out in the field, all those different field position players, guys moving around. I guess that's the blessing and the curse all in the same, that these guys can play a bunch of different positions. And with the starting pitchers, a couple of these guys are going to be in the bullpen, which isn't such a bad thing when you get to the playoffs. But who would be your starting, if you get into a series, let's say you're 3 or 4 guys?
Well, some of these guys might have to go on the DL just because you can't have your roster has to be at a certain limit. Some of these guys might be healthy, but get dropped down to the minors.
Until they expand rosters in September.
Yeah, it's a tough situation if you're Dave Roberts. Ross Stripling right now is shut down probably because of that all-star fiasco and has not ever recovered since. But you had mentioned Julio Urias coming back. They're saying that he's pitching not in game situations, he's throwing simulated games in Arizona, I believe they said.
Yeah.
So
Camelback Ranch.
He's back there. He is looking to make his way back to the Dodger lineup as well.
Hey, and speaking of, this is an Angels-related note. I just saw our guy Trent Rush tweet out that Shohei Ohtani is ramping up his throwing program and that he could be throwing off the mound very soon. In fact, he's even exceeded the Angels' expectations in terms of rehabbing, getting back from this UCL injury that could have, forced them to get Tommy John surgery, but they're slow-balling it right now. They're going to play it safe.
And they might as well. They might as well throw him. We talked about this earlier because if he does go into Tommy John, he'll just have to sit out next year. So might as well get that pitching going. He was great while they had him.
Speaking of the Halos, Mike Scioscia coming back. If he's not, who's going to replace him? We'll talk Angels baseball when we come back on the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Jeremy.
to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Don't fight it. The Inland Sports Show is back. Final hour. We go 3 hours every single day. We're live and amplified. Our studio's right here in the Riv. Hashtag the Riv raised me.
Hey, we're going to be covering high school football this week, aren't we?
I think we are.
Holy
Did
cow.
you hear back from your boy, Tibbles?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be doing a remote later on this week on a Friday.
Do some high school foosball. I told you, the season's here. We've got scrimmages Thursday and Friday of this week, and next week it all starts for real. I can't believe it.
Hey, I've got the North High School versus
Grand Terrace. Are you studying already? That's the Riverside TV game. You're going to be on TV. You can't screw this up.
I never screwed up. Are you kidding me? I am bing, bang, boom. I'm ready. I've got my suits pressed. I've lost a little bit of weight, so I think I can put them on. I'm telling you, man, I'm fired up. I'm ready.
Did Lindskog give you any pointers on like doing play-by-play?
No, I don't have to do that. That's why that's Ghazal Hassan. Me? No, I just the color guy. Just tell some funny
Because you and
jokes.
Lindskog, I think, have a similar approach in your play-by-play.
You do too. You guys
we
are
all
yeah.
come from the same play-by-play family.
Oh yeah, he was telling us he's very organized.
He's a student.
Yeah, just
Still
like you.
a constant student.
Just like you, just like myself. We study, we make our boards, and we are ready to roll when it's game time.
And it's almost game time. So we'll keep you updated. Once we know if it's locked in for sure, yeah, we might be doing the show live on a remote from a high school football stadium near you.
Yeah, the best in the world. That's all I can say.
The best football stadium in the world.
In the whole world. There's nothing better. And you know
if you ask Jeff Gorham.
Yeah. Ask me. The best stadium in the world.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Off the 215 freeway, just get off on Alessandro Boulevard. You got to get your oil change. In fact, you're overdue. Right now, go get your oil change. It's Spoiled. Quick,
quality oil change. All right. Mike Scioscia. So we talked about the whole poppycock thing, right?
Poppycock.
That he said when they asked him, Mike, there's all these reports saying that you are going to step down at the end of the season, not immediately, but at the end of the season, you're going to step down as the skipper of the Angels. And he said,
poppycock.
That's exactly what he said.
Exactly like that, too.
He says, that's phooey. That's fake news. No, I had never said anything of the sort. So let's assume, just for the moment, just for the sake of our little conversation here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM, that Mike Scioscia is not coming back. Who should be the manager of the Angels going forward? And Jeff, you texted me one name right away. I think it's a good name, but I don't think he has any managerial experience.
He
wants to
be. He did manage the Futures game during the All-Star break, so there is a little bit there. And I know he
Who
has.
are we talking about?
Torrey Hunter, the great Angel. Remember, he lived in Corona. He had some Inland Empire roots. I think Torrey Hunter is young enough to be able to get these guys to play hard. I think he would rally. Yeah, all you need to do is get a couple of good baseball minds to surround him to kind of get him acclimated to the Major League Baseball managing. I think he'd be great. And there's another guy on your list that I think also would be good, and I think that's Joe Girardi.
Joe Girardi, former manager of the Yankees, another catcher. Catchers make great managers, right? Like Mike Scioscia.
I mean, think about it. He was one game away from a World Series last year, and then the Astros took care of him. And he gets fired after being one game away from the series. Crazy stuff.
I'm going to give you my pick.
Give me your
And then
pick.
I'm going to give you something very peculiar out there right now.
I want to hear it.
My pick would be, how about Dino Ebel? He played at San Bernardino Valley College. I think he was even the manager of the Spirit for a little bit. He's been Mike Scioscia's right-hand man for a long time. Third base coach, bench coach. Dino Ebel's one of us, one of the IE guys. He could be in line to be the next manager of the Angels.
How about Marcel Latchman?
I haven't heard that name.
He was the last guy before Mike Scioscia.
Was he really?
Yeah, I think he might be dead, but I just felt like saying Marcel Latchman.
I was like, man, I haven't heard that name in a while. I think those were like the JT Snow Angels when they had like blue pinstripes, like blue hats.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a long time ago.
Who's the other name?
But this is something very peculiar, and this kind of went under the radar, but not here on the Inland Sports Show because we dig deep. I mean, I'll stay up all night long, whatever it takes. So here's the deal. So the news on Mike Scioscia possibly stepping down at the end of the season for the Angels comes out. And then lo and behold, this flies under the radar. That the manager for the Salt Lake City Bees, that's the AAA affiliate for the Angels, his name is Keith Johnson. He's been promoted to the Angels big league team, the coaching staff.
Well, that's peculiar.
Strange.
Yeah.
So the guy replacing Keith Johnson in Salt Lake City for the AAA team is former major leaguer Eric Chavez, who had a great long major league career, most notably with the A's, a rival of the Angels.
Yeah, third baseman. Very
He
good.
was a stud. He could hit.
Yeah.
He was great. There were some really good A's teams when he was there. The kind of the Miguel Tejada A's, like that same kind of an era. He's never been a coach or a manager, but he's been a special assistant to the Angels general manager, Billy Epler. Well, Eric Chavez is now the coach, the manager for the Salt Lake City Bees for the rest of the season. So, yeah, it's kind of a mystery. And if you start putting the pieces to the puzzle together, the Mike Scioscia news comes out that he might not come back. The Salt Lake City guy, AAA, gets promoted to the big league team. And Eric Chavez, who has no coaching experience, gets plugged in right at the AAA level. Usually guys have to work their way up. Even managers do that.
Yeah.
They'll start here in Inland Empire with the 66ers and work their way up. Eric Chavez, with no experience, although he's been an assistant to the GM, straight to AAA. Are they grooming him, or maybe are they getting Keith Johnson ready?
And you mentioned that Mike Scioscia's contract is over at the end of this year, so he wouldn't be stepping down. He just would run his course.
See, that's the thing. Like, at the end of the season, maybe we could say that Mike Scioscia was not lying. If they said, Mike, are you stepping down at the end of the season? And he says, no, I am not. That's poppycock. He might be right, because at the end of the season, he might not have to step down. His contract could expire, and he's just going to walk away. It's just over. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one getting fired, no one resigning. The contract is over. He's done. They find a new manager. End of story.
Maybe you keep him into the front office, maybe a head of scouting, or maybe he's ready to retire. He's put in 20 good years.
Maybe he wants to go somewhere
2
else.
decades. Maybe. I mean, but I think Joe Girardi's another good name, like you said. Here's a couple I'm going to... Gene Mock.
Gene Mock?
Yeah, he's been dead for 25 years, but he was a great Angel manager. Or how about Marcel? I already said Marcel Lashman. Joe Madden. Remember, Joe Madden was on the bench for a long time. He's not going to leave, of course.
No, he's with the Cubs now. He's got a good gig.
Yeah, Buck Rogers. Remember those guys?
Buck Rogers.
Yeah, Jim Fregosi.
Yeah,
Buck Rogers.
Is he with us?
None of these guys are with us anymore, Pep.
None of them?
No, but they were all Angels managers that I remember. Yeah, well, Madden is, but yeah, we're talking Fregosi, Gene Mock, Moose Stubing. Moose. Did you know that? Did you know that? Let's see. Whitey Herzog was the manager of the Angels.
Whitey Herzog was?
Yeah, back in.
Remember him as the skipper of the Cardinals?
Yeah, 1974. Dick Williams, another legend right there. Why don't you bring back one of those guys? Ted Williams and his frozen head. He's available, I heard.
Walt Disney, Williams.
No, Walt Disney, no. He's still running that company.
Were you guys talking about Walt Disney and his frozen head?
Yeah, I think we
when
did.
Lindskog was in here?
Yeah, I think we did. We talked about Ted Williams and his frozen head, too.
Because I was standing outside a car wash in Cupertino, the home of Apple, and I'm like, I could barely hear you. Because, car alarms were going off and cars were going through the car wash.
Yeah,
and my family was staring at me like, come on, let's go. And I'm like, did they just say Walt Disney's frozen head?
Yeah, we were talking.
That could not be right.
Yeah, we were talking to his head. We were talking to Ted Williams' head. Yeah, cryogenics. We were talking it all. Yeah, Pep. It went that way.
Man, it got sideways.
It was a great show, though. Fantastic. It was entertaining as hell.
He told me, did you listen to it? You should go back and listen to it. It's really good.
Hey, the first 20 minutes of that Friday show was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Best of right there.
Best of.
Best of.
Mark it down, Greg. Best of.
Best of.
Okay, so yeah, we don't know for sure if Mike Scioscia is stepping down at the end of the season. We can't confirm it. And who would be his replacement? It's hard to say, but
a good call,
I would
Eric
say
Chavez.
I would say, yeah, with Eric Chavez being placed at AAA for Salt Lake City and the promotion of Keith Johnson, it just seems all very strange that it's all happening at the same time. And the guy who first reported this, Ken Rosenthal, listen, Jeff, we've done this before when we get a scoop and we want to put it out there.
Yeah.
It's your butt. So Ken Rosenthal's not going to put it out there unless he's absolutely 100% confident that this is actually true. Because his name's on it. It's his butt. We've been in that situation before, too, and we get a real juicy scoop. But we have to hold on to it until we know exactly if it's true or not. So Ken Rosenthal's not going to just put out there, hey, Mike Scioscia is going to step down. So unless he knows.
So I probably shouldn't say it. Torrey Hunter will be the next manager?
No.
Probably wouldn't be good. Okay, I won't do it then.
So you said he managed the Futures game?
Yes, he did. He managed.
But what else is he doing? Was it just like an honorary
he
coach?
wants to work his way back into baseball as a manager. He did say though he wanted to get his minor league chops going, his minor league experience before he is. But that is what he really wants to do. And he's a great guy.
Yeah, he would be an excellent fit.
I think he'd be good in the clubhouse relating to today's player.
I think he'd be great. But right now, if you're doing the writing on the wall, I think the Angels already have something afoot, something already going in their plans. Are they going to come out and confirm that Scioscia's leaving? No. But behind the scenes, are they bracing for his departure at some point? As early as the end of the season? Yes, of course they are. So there is something afoot here with the Angels. When we come back, we'll talk more NFL. We got to get to the Raiders, man. We're going to talk about the AFC West. Who's going to win the whole thing? Is it going to be the silver and black? The greatness of the Raiders, are they back?
Nope.
They might be.
Nope. They're not. Nope. Sorry, guys.
Just a hater.
I am.
With his Disney hat on over there.
Yeah.
Hating everything. We'll be back. It's the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. Great.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the Crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using, we do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car, whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Sound in the world. Guys!
Fellas, you think we could listen to the radio or something? We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're proudly brought to you by our good friends at Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years, since 1976 to be exact, a legend was born. Ken Sporting Goods has all your sporting gear needs. Of course they do. They all got all the good stuff. The baseball mitts, bats, soccer balls, cleats, basketball shoes, all kinds of good stuff. And they can do Letterman's jackets, embroidery, screen printing for your company or business. That's Ken Sporting Goods off the 15 freeway in Norco. Visit them online, kenssportinggoods.com. Hey, Jeff's brother's coming to town.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You know, I love your brother.
Oh, I love him dearly. He's just a jackalope.
A jackalope?
Yeah, he's just annoying.
Wasn't that from America's Funniest Home Videos, the jackalope? Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Is he gonna come in studio with us?
No, I don't want him in here.
You don't?
No, I want to punch each other on air.
It's your brother, though. He
care.
loves you. He wants to see you succeed and do well.
No, he doesn't. He wants to belittle me at any moment he possibly can. Yeah.
The aliens, brother.
Yeah,
that guy.
Remember, I shared a room with him for 18 years.
Yeah, he said aliens were going to abduct you.
He also said there was demons under my bed. And
Oh, man, what a good brother.
Yeah, he's truly evil.
Is he still doing that little radio show in New
Stop
Hampshire?
now. You're going to make my mom mad. Yeah, I don't know if he does.
Why are you wearing your sunglasses? Are you trying to hide?
No. Yeah, a little bit. I was getting angry.
You invisible?
I was getting angry, right?
Yeah. Karch Karai. You know what that is?
Karai, yeah. Steve Timmons. Remember him?
Yes.
He's a
of course
Riverside
I
Poly
do.
graduate.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, just threw that out there for you.
Yeah, beach volleyball.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm angry. My brother's flying into town.
Tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
Maybe we can get him in here in the next 30 minutes.
No. He flies in at 10 o'clock.
Oh, late tonight. Oh.
I'm sure if he has time for me, he will stop by and see me if he has time.
If he has time.
Yeah,
because he's very important.
He thinks he is.
Is he doing his radio show from out here?
No.
Who's filling in for him?
Nobody. I don't know.
Does the radio show not continue?
My mom and dad are going to be mad at you, Pat.
No, I'm just curious because, when I leave, we get a big name like Mike Lindskog to come in.
Stop it. He's my brother. Be nice to him.
I'm just wondering. I'm just curious. I just love the business. I love talking radio.
He's a crazy. He's still a crazy Gorham boy. I don't want to offend him because he like swings on people and stuff. He's nuts.
We got a dump button in our studio, so if we bring him in.
No, he gets physical.
He gets loose.
No, you don't want him to get him loose. Don't get him loose. He's nuts. He's crazy. Remember, he said demons were going to attack me. That's my brother. No, he's coming. I'm looking forward to seeing him. He's coming to see his daughter. His daughter goes to school out here, and he bought her a new car.
He did?
Oh yeah, I wish I had a dad like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 20 plus. Let me buy you a brand new car. Yeah, that's my brother. If he went to
Catalano Motors,
he should have gone to Catalano Motors. Save $500. Could have bought 1,000 tacos.
Because he can listen to our show. We stream live and amplified on our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Does he stream his show?
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm just wondering. I don't know. I just like talking shop.
You're
I like talking radio.
Dude, don't make him mad. He's
all
crazy.
That stuff.
He's crazy.
He's in the air right now. He's not even listening. He's somewhere over Utah.
Yeah, he's my older brother. He's nuts. The little brothers are always kind of scared of their big brothers.
Yeah,
but even though he's built like the Hulk waist above, he looks like a prisoner. Looks like he's served about 10 years in the pen. He's got really thin legs.
Chicken legs.
Very thin. But he can barely walk, so if I punched him really hard, I can run from him, and he'd never catch me.
What? Because basketball injuries or what?
Yeah, just the years and years. Wear and tear. You've seen the Gorham boys walk. We all walk bad. He walks worse than all of us. Oh, he walks worse than my dad. He walks worse than John Gorham.
Really?
Yeah, older John. He's not fast John. He's slow John.
Is he going to come see his nephews?
Maybe.
Maybe?
I don't know, maybe.
He's flying from New Hampshire. That's a long ways.
Yeah, but he's got other friends and family.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, yeah, he does. He's pretty popular in Riverside.
He is?
Yeah,
more than you.
In some circles, he's pretty popular. Yeah, he's pretty popular.
Not more popular than Jeff Gorham.
Yeah, he's pretty popular. But he's kind of a jerk, so it doesn't matter. He'll go visit his buddies.
If I had the time, I'd walk the streets of the Riv.
And ask questions?
Do you know who John Gorham is?
Oh, they all know Dad.
Do you know who Jeff Gorham is?
Yeah.
No, I'd say not John Gorham on the wall of distinction.
And then you have Justin. That's my brother. Justin Gorham.
Justin Gorham. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Justin, yeah.
I didn't know his name.
That's all right. So he's Justin. He's Justin. I'm Jeff, and yeah, he's my older brother.
Can't wait to see him.
Yeah, no, you don't want to see him. No. Pep. It's not something we want to deal with. We don't. I love you, Pep. You like me. We got to keep that guy out of studio.
Well, if he wants to come in, just know, as the nice guy on the show, I always have an open door.
No, we're gonna keep that door shut. We have a big window.
I will feed him. I will give him water, shelter, whatever he may need.
You're like Jesus.
Yes,
Pep, you're like Jesus.
I am.
Yeah, but
I'm the nice guy on the show. You guys, nobody believes me.
You really aren't the nice guy, and
nobody believes me.
He's the demon.
You know how many
he's
doors
the demon.
I held open over the last couple of days? Holding doors for everybody, giving away money to people.
You what?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Gave away money.
Yes.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. I'm kind of poor right now.
I gave money away to Target and the gas station,
and have your window fixed.
No, I'm a nice guy. Okay, let's talk some NFL
all right,
football.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
So John Gruden, the
Over.
greatness,
Whatever.
of the Raiders.
The Raiders.
He's not happy with Martavis Bryant.
Why?
So Martavis Bryant came over from the Steelers, right? Pretty good receiver.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be a good addition.
Oh, yeah. Are they going to be better than they were last year, 6-10?
Well, they got Amari Cooper.
Oh, okay.
They got Jordy Nelson, who, at least according to Derek Carr, is like the best thing since sliced bread. And now they got Martavis Bryant. And John Gruden is not happy. He said, flat out, he's got to get out here and play better. He's in a competitive situation. Right now, a lot of other receivers have had a nice camp. He's got to learn the offense. Martavis Bryant might work himself out of a job.
Martavis Bryant probably should stop smoking the doobie, too. I mean, that's been his problem. I mean, the last couple of years, he's been suspended a few times, and it looks like he's going to be suspended again, I think.
The story goes on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
As you know, you alluded to it. That's a perfect segue because the Raiders may be without Bryant for at least part of next season. As it was reported back in June, they fear another suspension is looming because he did violate the substance abuse policy.
No.
Not a good guy. Not a good guy.
No. And if he's not going to work hard, waive him.
Yeah.
He's football.
It's not. So John Gruden, when he called him out and said, it's a competitive situation, and he needs to learn the offense. He needs to play better. That screams this guy's not working hard on the field, in the film room, anywhere. He doesn't know what we're doing. He's lost. Why do you want a guy around? You've got Jordy Nelson on one side, Amari Cooper on the other. You're going to be fine without him.
Yeah, and you got to think, you got to win your locker room. Is Gruden winning in this locker room? Remember, he's been away from football for a decade.
Maybe setting the tone. Maybe he doesn't want those guys.
Hey, Joe Gibbs came back from after racing. He was successful.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not sure if John Gruden's going to be that much of an impact.
We're going to find out. I'm curious, did Martavis Bryant, did the Raiders bring him in after John Gruden or before John Gruden?
They brought him in before John Gruden.
So maybe if Gruden had the choice, he would have said, I don't want that kind of guy.
No.
So
they better be better than 6-10, or Vegas will be really, really dreary in a couple years.
Right now, Jeff, as we go into the first week of the preseason officially,
okay,
throw that Hall of Fame game out.
All right.
Let's look at the AFC West.
I have predictions. I have what I think records are going to be. I'm ready, Pep.
The records and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Let's start from the bottom.
No? All right.
And then we'll get there.
Okay.
The last place team in the AFC West for this upcoming season will be, who do you say?
I'm going to say it's the Raiders.
The Raiders?
Yeah. I think they're going to be last in the AFC West.
Who is this guy?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know. We're a Raider station, aren't we?
Sure we are.
All right, then the Denver Broncos. No, I think the Raiders and Denver are both going to be 7-9 this season.
Really?
Yeah, just because you don't know what you're getting with John Gruden. He's been away for a decade. They have guys that aren't even playing right now.
Really?
Yeah.
My last place team is Kansas City. And I say last place team. There's only 4 teams, and they're all pretty good, actually.
I think they're going to be second.
What's wrong with you?
I think they're going to be at 500.
Kansas City's last.
They got Mahomes, my man.
What has he done?
It's what he's going to do.
Oh.
Potential.
My third place team in the AFC West, right above Kansas City, the Denver Broncos.
Oh.
Who do you got in third?
I had the Denver and Oakland both at 7-9.
You're thinking they're both going to stink.
They're both going to. That whole division's bad.
My second place team in that division.
Yes.
The Chargers.
Well, wait, stop it.
My first place team, your AFC West champions in 2018. The Raiders.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay, now what?
Yeah.
Just stop it. They were 6-10
I'm a 49er
last year.
fan, so it kind of pains me a little bit.
You are nuts.
The greatness, commitment to excellence.
Hey.
So let me go over it real quick, and you give me your top 4. I'm going to go Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs.
All right.
You heard it here first.
You're crazy. We're going to say the Chargers are going to go 13-3. They started off 0-4 last year. Do you remember that?
13-3?
They were 0-4 last year. They came back, and they were awesome. 13-3.
They always underachieve, though.
The Chefs are going to be 8-8 because they got Mahomes in his first
He
year.
hasn't done anything.
It doesn't matter. He's still better than what everybody else has. And then I have the Raiders and the Broncos. That's it.
You know.
Right, tie.
The Broncos have Case Keenum, right?
Yeah. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Still better than Trevor Siemian and Paxton Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So they're better than last place.
They're still better than the.
Why
they're still
do
going
you
to be
have
better than the
Kansas
Raiders.
City so high?
Because I just think they're rotten. I think them and the Raiders are going to be bad.
No, you said Denver. I said, why do you think Kansas City is going to finish higher? Would you have the Chiefs at 8-8?
I had the Chefs at 8.
Why do you have Kansas City so high?
Because I think Mahomes is going to be a stud, and I think Eric Berry is a very good defensive player. I think he's as good as Derek Johnson at one time. Sorry.
All right.
And they're going to be without Marcus Peters and Derek Johnson. But I'm telling you, Eric Berry is a stud defensively.
He is a stud.
Yeah.
I like Eric Berry.
Yeah. Well,
and Travis Kelce's a good tight end. One of the best in the league. I'll give you that.
And Andy Reid, you can't count him out. There you go. Coach, quarterback, defensive player.
So you had the Chargers winning. I had the Raiders winning.
I have the Chargers going to the Super Bowl.
You do?
Oh, I do. Yeah, they're very good. They're very good. They get that tight end situation. They've got a great defense. Joey Bosa is one of the best that there is. Yes, they're good. You can't ever count out Rivers. Rivers is a stud.
He is a stud.
He is a stud.
I got them in second. They're going to make the playoffs.
So you have the Raiders in first?
Yeah.
You're just doing it because they're on our station.
No.
Yeah, you are.
No.
Get that.
And I didn't do it for Greg
Clean your
Holla.
nose a little bit. Clean that nose, buddy.
No.
I know the Fox guys are listening.
What's up, Colton? We got you.
I did it for Greg Holla. I did it for Sharice Wright. I
That's
did it
why
for
you did it.
everyone in the
That's
IE
why.
that
there's
loves
an
the
IE.
silver and black.
Whatever.
Sharice, who plays for the Raiders, and Sharice, the cat that lives at Greg Holla's house.
Is it because there's an IE guy on that team?
That's right.
But there's an IE guy on Denver's team.
Cameron Hunt from Centennial.
Hey, there's a guy in Denver, too.
Who?
Your guy. Your favorite.
Oh, Sua Cravens.
There you go. Oh, see, you did just how quickly you forget. You were gone for 2 days, and you forget.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Your favorite. He said this.
What'd I say?
He's the best high school player I've seen in my entire life.
One of the best.
Oh, he's so good.
Top 3.
And you have that. What do you have, Denver? Last?
No, I had Kansas City last.
You're ridiculous.
Raiders, Chargers,
ridiculous.
Bronx, and the Chiefs.
Put this down. Let's write this date of this.
Do it.
And then,
I got a paper right here.
And then at the very end of the season, we're going to go back in the show. I'm going to laugh at you because the Raiders are going to be
I'm going to laugh at
filthy.
you twice because you
They're
said the Bills would be better than the Packers.
No,
this
that
year.
was before their running back. Before their running back went crazy, and when was punching people, or had people punch women out. I have to renege on that one. You agree?
You want to redo?
I want to redo on that, yeah, because I didn't know that was going to happen, and it was before the season. So I'm going to say the oracle was off. I didn't anticipate he was going to hire somebody to beat up his girlfriend. Did you?
No, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No. So yeah.
When we come back, let's talk about that Alabama Crimson Tide quarterback situation. It's getting out of control.
No, it's not.
And it hits home for us.
It's not either. I already know what's going to happen.
And your Major League Baseball scores from this afternoon. It does not include the Dodgers. They have a day off. They're probably on the beaches or at Disneyland.
Hey, Derek
Maybe they're in
Carr.
Colton.
Derek Carr was rotten last year.
No.
Yeah.
It was a bad team.
Yeah, whatever. Who did they improve? How did they improve?
John Gruden.
Sharice
Wright. That's all you need.
Stop it.
To those two guys.
Whatever.
Return to greatness.
Yeah, whatever.
You don't even know.
His passer rating.
What do you know about Silver and Black?
His passing rating was rotten last year.
Because he has a rotten team.
All right, well, he still does.
He's back.
Yeah, be prepared.
And we'll be back on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Worst offensive line in football.
Greatness.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I say that's my passion because I've done it. I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and help them reach their athletic potential, help them, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, in terms of speed, power, strength, agility.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
talk some Alabama football.
Alabama.
Down in the swamps of Alabama. We're brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Check out their website, boosttrainingsystems.com. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter. That's Boost Performance Training, a proud partner of the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. If you'd like to be a proud partner, shoot us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. That's inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. So we've been keeping an eye on this Alabama quarterback situation. They got those two guys. One we'll call Tua. He's got a long last name.
But I love it when you say those last names. Can you say it for me?
Tagovailoa.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. Tua. Okay.
And then they got Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Now, we know Jalen Hurts because he's the guy who took Blake Barnett's job at Alabama. And Blake Barnett's our guy from Corona.
3 years, he was great, would you say?
Yeah.
Great, but very good. Won a national championship. Stud.
Very good. He got yanked at halftime of the national championship game against, it was Georgia, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He got yanked.
Yep.
Tua came in, led them to the victory. Jalen Hurts handled it all like first class, like a gentleman. But now we're getting close to the season, and Jalen Hurts was interviewed, and they said, hey, what has Nick Saban told you about this quarterback situation? Has he said anything? He said nothing. He's like, I don't know. He's like, they didn't even ask me. They didn't talk to me. He hasn't heard anything. That's kind of strange. And now I look back on Blake Barnett transferring out of Alabama. He went to Arizona State. Now he's at South Florida. But I look back and I'm like, man, why is Blake Barnett running away from competition? Listen, you're going to get more good players at Alabama than anywhere else, right? I mean, you can't just go to Alabama and think you're going to be the guy because there's a bunch of guys.
Every single year at these big programs, USC, Alabama, Georgia, they recruit 5-star quarterbacks every
5 stars everywhere.
But every single year,
Yes.
especially at the quarterback position, you've got to have a guy, and it's every year.
You're going to have to compete. And I always kind of thought in the back of my mind, man, I wish Blake Barnett would have stuck it out. Maybe he could have won that job back. But instead he left and he, tried to find something better. But now you see this situation unfolding with Tua and Jalen Hurts, and I'm kind of with Jalen Hurts. Like, at least, have some sort of open dialogue saying, hey, you know what? Tua looked great in that national championship. It's his job to lose. Jalen, you got to outperform him in training camp and take the job back. Or, Jalen, you're still our guy. Tua's the young guy waiting in the wings. It's your job to lose. Tua's going to have to knock our socks off in training camp to take it back. Something. He says he's heard nothing, and you can kind of see it already. Jalen Hurts is not happy with the Alabama Crimson Tide. It looks like he might be on the move, transferring out as well. Again, going back to Blake Barnett, doesn't look so bad now. Like, maybe Blake Barnett, maybe this is how Nick Saban treats his QBs. Like, maybe Blake Barnett was not at fault. Maybe he was doing the right thing.
Well, let's talk about this. We've seen a large sample size of Jalen Hurts, correct?
Yeah, enough.
He's not an NFL quarterback. He is not.
No. If you're talking like drop back passer.
No, he is not. Tua has a shot. Athletically, he is superior to Jalen Hurts. Arm strength, superior to Jalen Hurts. The question is, we have a small sample size with him, but he won a national championship. But you got to go. We're not playing at University of Redlands, and I hate to say it. We're not playing at San Bernardino Valley. We're not at RCC. This is Alabama. You're playing for
preseason number one team in the country, defending national champion.
You're playing for national championships. And guess what? The head coach gets paid national championship money. It is just like a professor. You publish or you perish. And whatever the ball coach says, you got to go with your heart. You got to go with it because he's ultimately the guy getting paid. You would love to say, I'm going to be loyal to you because you've done it to it. You've done well. You won us a national championship. You played 3 years, but competition gets better. The teams you play get better, and you've got to play the best player in that moment. And I have to say right now, Tua is the guy.
You can be loyal to Jalen Hurts, but at the end of the day, this is Nick Saban's livelihood.
There you go.
And he's got to win. And if he feels like Tua gives them the best shot at winning, he's going to go with Tua. You can throw loyalty out the window.
You have to. I mean, and it's tough. It's tough. When you're playing at Alabama, USC, these schools, it's tough. And guys have to make tough decisions. But that's why he gets paid the big bucks. And that's why millions and millions of people follow Alabama football.
And it's not just Alabama. Look at USC. Look how many USC quarterbacks have transferred. I always think of Ricky Town. I have no idea where Ricky Town's at. He might be, I think he's at Pittsburgh maybe, I want to say, or Tulsa, or somewhere in the Midwest or back east. Max Whittick. Remember Cody Kessler beat Max Whittick. I don't even know where Max Whittick is now. It happens at a lot of the big premier schools. But I understand where Jalen Hurts is coming from and saying that, man, the coaches haven't even talked to me. He's like, I have no idea where I stand. I have no idea.
And you look at this USC, is it JT Daniels, the kid from Mater Day?
The new kid,
Remember,
from Mater Day.
He left last year.
He's young. Super
yeah,
young.
I mean, left.
He should be a senior in high school
yes.
right now.
And the thing is, USC will recruit a guy just as good or better. Jaden Daniels might be that guy.
Remember Max Brown? Max Brown was supposed to be the next big thing at USC.
Yes.
To be honest, I have no idea where he's at right now. I don't know what school he ended up at. But I remember when he came from the state of Washington, he was at some big Skyline High School, whatever, some big-time high school football program up there. Max Brown was supposed to be the next big thing. I don't even know where he's at now.
Yeah.
So it happens.
And Nick Saban, he's going to do what he's going to do, and he's not going to blink if he hurts Jalen Hurts. He's not going to blink. It's not going to bother him because, it might bother him personally, but he's got to win championships, and that's what it is. Winning championships or pleasing guys, you got to choose winning championships.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will chase down a couple of those Major League Baseball scores from this afternoon, several games in progress, and we'll get you all set for Quakes baseball tonight. Mike Lindskog, Andrew Chapman, and the crew up there in San Jose for some more Cal League baseball action. You're listening to your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show, on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Here's Pep and Jeff.
Oh, it's good to be back. Another Inland Sports Show in the books here on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. The Inland Sports Show always brought to you by Catalana Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. Save $500 at Catalana Motors. When you mention the Inland Sports Show, they got weekly specials too. You're going to save thousands. You're welcome. Okay, tomorrow, Daryl's going to be here.
What?
Daryl Trujillo knows more about volleyball than anyone else in the Inland Empire.
You gotta give your hand to him.
You have to. He knows his stuff. We'll talk a little high school volleyball. Cal State San Bernardino volleyball. They were great last year. Made it to the Elite Eight. Cal Baptist volleyball. UCR volleyball. All kinds of volleyball action. Daryl Trujillo is going to be here live in studio. It's going to be a real treat. We also got to get to those PGA Championship groupings tomorrow. It's the final major of the season. Ricky Fowler is going to be in a tough group. Tiger Woods is going to be in the hunt. Tiger Woods has been great. What do you mean, huh?
He didn't do anything this weekend. Did he?
This past weekend?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter, though.
It should matter.
Working on things. Like a rehab assignment.
Hey, he should have won. He won that thing 8 times. He wasn't even in the pack.
Like a rehab assignment.
Yeah, whatever.
Dodgers off tonight. Angels get the Halos. Only one game in progress that we need to keep an eye on. That's the Mariners, if you're an Angels fan. But again, I don't know. I don't think the Angels are coming back. But the Mariners and Rangers, no score in the third inning right now. Quakes coming up in San Jose tonight. Pre-game starts at 6:45 p.m. with Mike Lindskog and Andrew Chapman. The gruesome twosome up there in San Jose together. Hey, is your brother coming in tomorrow?
No.
Do you want me to reach out to him and schedule it, or?
No, please don't. Thank you. I appreciate it, but no, thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Bye.
No, I can't say that I do.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Really?
People know me.